Hey everybody, Amascut here with another podcast that is not technically part of our numbered weekly podcasts. Today we're going to be covering the stream that occurred on the 27th of March, 2018, covering the 2018 survey results. In this stream, mods Jack, Osborne, Shawnee, Timbo, and Days sat down, talked about the results, gave their thoughts, talked about what they thought the results meant, and we're going to talk about what they thought the results meant and how we think about what they thought the results meant. Capiche?
Great.
Anyway, I'm joined here by Crondis.
I distinctly remember something about not recording on Wednesdays anymore.
Avernic.
Told you there'd be something important to talk about.
And of course, we have a Walter in the chat.
Hello.
I was just about to say, wow.
Sorry, I was the last one to not be able to do that, so
only.
There, we've all three done it. Can we end it now?
Right. No. Anyway, I guess we'll just dive right into things.
Woo.
Survey results aren't the only thing that determine what content they're going to make. They're not just going to take the number one result every time and make that content, but it helps them kind of decide what updates are worth doing. They also mentioned that it was interesting, and we find it interesting too, that the in-game survey results are insanely different from the website ones.
Only on some subjects. Some of them
on some subjects, but like to the point where it's like, wow, that is drastic.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll discuss those. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump right into the top skilling updates.
Can we please kill whoever voted for this?
Okay, so at number one, and this one has a little bit of an asterisk on it. It is Master Skill Cape perks / reworking existing Skill Cape perks.
This is why this was an issue.
Yes. So I agree. I do not want Master Skill Cape perks, and Jagex appears to agree. They said
they don't really agree.
Well, yeah, but they also said we have to be careful with this because if you make 120 perks and they're so good that they're mandatory, that effectively makes the skill go up to 120 even if you claim it's cosmetic.
Yes, they say that, but then they also seem to believe that the cape itself was enough to be an incentive to do it.
Yeah, they
which I agree with.
I disagree. I think adding a perk is more of a get to this thing than a cape is.
I saw it coming.
But personally, I think the cape is enough. I think until there's skill options that range above level 99, I think it should remain just the.
Yeah, so I definitely agree with what Walter's saying is Master Skill Cape perks for DG Slayer and Invention.
I absolutely agree with you there.
A skill that goes to 120, yes.
Once a skill goes to 120, give it a new perk. Until then, no.
What would you guys do for those skills? Because two of three of those?
Dungeoneering, access floor 61. Slayer, never have to do Slayer again. Invention.
Well, right now, those perks are just teleports. So
for Dungeoneering, I would make it so that all of your skills inside of Dungeoneering are boosted by 2 levels. That's
probably helpful.
Yeah. You would be treated as having naturally 101 instead of 99 if you were at 99. For I would have a perk that lets you once per day gain the effect of a Slayer VIP token without needing a ticket. And then for Invention, just higher percent drain.
Even better, Slayer once per day. Assign yourself an assignment. That's something people keep on.
Nah, because that should be an unlock from the pyramid.
Invention, you could probably just, like, instead of doing charge, just do junk instead, just so you have both.
That's a cool idea.
But anyway, luckily the worries for this are probably not necessary because it seems to be a lot of dissent in discussion about the poll results afterwards about people actually wanting just the normal skill cape perks reworked, and they didn't actually want the master ones. But since they were lumped together, they voted for it.
I cannot possibly fathom why they would decided to lump those two together in the poll option.
Yeah.
They are vastly different.
The top comment on the Reddit thread says, just want to clarify, someone who selected Master/Skill Cape perk reworks was selecting it for the rework, not the Master perks. Someone else did and said they misread it and thought they meant the Expert Skill Capes, which would be cool as well. A bunch of people said they misread it as well. A lot of people were saying, hey, same, I agree, we need reworks. So I think that's an important distinction as well. These questions really should have been separate.
I think you rework the existing ones and you forget about the Master.
And I think before Jagex even considers doing Master, they need to actually pull it as two separate things. Which one would you prioritize more?
Right, and I think we know where that would go.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just a guess. You know what they say about assuming.
Yep. The third highest comment also just people going, "Hey, don't make 120."
Yeah.
Anyway,
we're slowly going that way.
Number 2 is a farming update, raising livestock, which is now confirmed as the next update that the judges who just made Pieces of Hate will be working on. They've got a whole Discord for sourcing player ideas for it, and I'm hyped.
It's very obvious that this is in early stages because you can tell they don't really know the direction they want to go with it, other than very bare bones outlines.
Yes. Do we want to get into this now, or?
I think we're just going to have a whole section on it later and just finish.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and save this for later, but
this has the most to talk about.
Yeah, we're going to go into detail on this later once we're further past it. But know that we're revisiting this and know that this is now a confirmed update.
Yep.
Right. Means lots of opinions.
Make ranching. Number 3 is the agility overhaul.
Not rework.
Okay, but see, here's the thing: is they basically said exactly what we said in the poll option podcast that we did. Was we don't care if it's a full agility rework. You're doing what we want you to do. Like what you call it is not really important.
I think. I mean, I get the distinction.
I don't really know if I do though, because
if you look at mining and smithing, it needed a rework. Agility never needed a rework.
Yeah, see, I think I get the distinction here. They're not reworking the entire skill from the ground up.
They're leaving what's
even
there.
After the overhaul, there's still going to be the courses that they're going to function the same. They just want to add more to give you more options within the skill.
Well, they're adding ways to train that are not just course, and then they're adding actual rewards from the skill. I think that's what everyone expects in a rework, quote unquote. So
I would definitely call that an overhaul more than a rework.
Right.
Because it overhauls what's important within the skill, but it doesn't have to go back and touch all the things that are in the skill.
It's not getting rid of what exists.
This is semantics.
It's like you're eating dinner and somebody offers you an extra plate of food, rather than somebody taking your plate of food that exists and giving you something new.
Which I think that was what everyone wanted.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's semantics, but just pointing out the terminology in case it's important in the future.
I bring up the same issue that I had last time, though. This is all well and great, but what do you want to do?
No one knows. And since there's so many restrictions that they've put in the past, I'm like, can't
no combat
skills, you can't do it.
See, that's another thing, is like, you know, one of the highest rated new skills, which I guess we'll get to in a second, it was a combat skill. You could easily just integrate agility in there. Make it a dodge chance or something.
Make agility abilities, like 7, 8 of them, and make them cool. But
yeah,
I think
what really peeves me is that agility already works as an existing skill enhancer for things like thieving and fishing. I don't understand why they're so adamantly opposed to adding in additional benefits for agility for things like smithing. And
I honestly think they just don't want to touch the combat system.
Well, not even the combat system, but like give you a chance to speed up your crafting, give you a chance to speed up your fletching, your
no, exactly. No, I would definitely agree with that. But
they seem wildly unwilling to do that, and yet agility already gives you, bonus chances to pickpocket and gives you additional chances to catch fish. Like, what the heck?
It'll have additional chances of ore in the mining smithing rework. So
yeah, that would be great.
Wait, isn't agility? Yeah, agility is very factored into mining chains in the rework.
Is it? In the rework, yeah.
So there's that at least. But yeah, maybe apply it to other gathering skills as well.
Yeah, like they've definitely done a great job. Heck, there's even some hunter bonuses with the skill champas.
Yep.
So like
patches.
Continuing to do things like that, I think, would be a really great way.
Actually just slowly doing it. It's just
I agree.
All happening at once. And
it would be nice to see this as like a core piece of content for agility. Yeah, raise your agility level to gain bonuses and other skills because it's a support skill.
Maybe standardize it so it's easier to understand.
I agree as well.
Right now it's all over the place in all these different skills. But this is I expect to see this one. Same as farming update. I expect to see that one. I expect to see probably the top 4, maybe the top 5.
Yeah.
Too easy. But
so number 4 is player as a Slayer Master. Of course, everybody voted for this. I don't care if this is like the greatest thing in the world or not. Of course, people voted for this.
Well, it has the word Slayer in it, so it's gonna get the votes.
I'm
right?
honestly shocked that it's not higher. To be honest,
unfinished business.
Yeah.
Is it?
But this is something I think needs to come from the Sunken Pyramid at this point.
The thing that we already have our player becoming a Slayer Master in.
Mm-hmm.
Just add mechanics to the end of it as rewards.
I totally agree.
That's it. And I expect to see this one with how it ranked and the hype behind it.
Don't really have a lot of discussion behind this because I agree. I don't think you should be able to always be a Slayer Master, but I think that we should be able to pick, 1 or 2 up a day.
Yeah. So this next one here, I'm not sure if we'll see. It's too broad. It's like there's no ideas behind it, and it's just low enough that I think it's not like top priority.
Yeah, and this is more dungeoneering stuff.
Right. Oh, yeah. I should have said that. I'd totally welcome like post 99 resource dungeons. It seems like in recent times we've been getting resource dungeons which have totally new things, as opposed to when we originally got them, they were extensions of things that exist. So I don't know what direction they'd go in. I'd assume new things, which then means lots of content probably in other skills.
That's not entirely true. Frost Dragons was a new thing.
Okay, that's the one new one we got originally, but we haven't gotten any since then that are just extensions.
I'm not. Oh, just extensions. Yeah, no, you're right.
They've always been something new.
Yeah, everything now has been new.
So I don't know if they would ever go back to just being extensions, and probably not for post 99 ones.
Yeah, I would be surprised if post 99s did that. I think post 99s, heck, even post 90s, have really established themselves as like this thing is very new.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Calgarian Demon thing is a little more regular, but Faraway Place is a 90. Garajo Horse Stalker Dungeon is really interesting and is a 95, and Edamu has the Maw in it.
Right. And then you got stuff like
you got Oh, hang on. No, technically we did get one post-release resource dungeon that was an extension.
Which one?
Polypore.
You're right. Yeah.
Right. That doesn't even feel like a that's not a resource dungeon though. It's just an extension of the dungeon.
But it is technically a resource dungeon. It uses the resource dungeon requirement and the little animation.
But it's not located in Demonheim.
True, but it is.
Okay, but neither does the one in the Chaos Tunnel. It doesn't use the Demonheim assets.
Oh, true. Yeah, the Maple one.
Oh yeah. Well, is it not in Demonheim? It's on Demonheim.
It's on the peninsula, but it's not in the dungeon.
I think this just goes back to the argument of are resource dungeons in Demonheim or not, which I don't think has to be a yes.
Yeah, I mean they're just lodestones anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think we might not see this one. And it's fine coming from like one here or there from other content, so not fussed about where it came. I wasn't too attached.
Yeah, I agree.
The next one though, the Hunter Elite Scaling outfit, shouldn't this just be cut?
Yeah, why did we need to pull this?
I think we talked about this in the
we did
the poll podcast. It's like, why are we pulling this? You have it for other skills. Just fucking do it.
It's just a plugin.
Yeah. We discussed this though before. Glad to see it's ranking high enough that Jack is like, oh yeah, we should definitely do that.
Why are they even? I mean, we're getting it no matter what. So
I mean, other than the models, which I guess is a work, but
what models? The models for the fragments?
No,
Aren't those just
the models for
recolors of the existing ones?
No, they're different. They are.
What
But
models though?
I was talking about the models for the outfit.
those exist.
Those
The outfit exists.
Hunter Elite Skilling outfit is already an outfit.
Oh, well then.
It came out from Treasure Hunter, like
The Trapper outfit.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah. So it's just making the fragment item icon and putting it in the currency pouch and putting the invention blueprint in. Ta-da! But
So yeah.
I mean, it's coming. So
Yep.
didn't matter where it placed.
Anyway, more interesting past that is the skilling raids encounters.
Right, and we're definitely past. Oh, we're still in the top 10 updates. I forgot this is.
Yeah, this is
Oh god.
7.
I'm trying to go a little faster.
Yeah, skilling raids and encounters.
I'm surprised this made. Well, I'm not surprised it made top 10, but I still don't think I've seen an idea for it that's.
I think the best idea I've seen for it so far was from the esteemed mod Mark H with Deepstone Keep.
Deepstone Keep?
Or was it Dragonstone Keep?
I don't know what you're talking about.
It was a really old suggestion from like 2010.
Are you talking about the one that was the pre-dungeoneering thing where it was like you go down, you meet these skrickle thingies or whatever?
I don't know what you're talking about at all.
I'll link it to you at some point, Vernie. I have a backup of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a really old document. It was basically like what they modeled dungeoneering after. We think.
No, they did not model dungeoneering after it. He actually clarified that later. He had this completely independently. It was Deepstone Keep. Well, Deepstone Keep, Lair of the Medusa Queen. Basically, he had this very interesting. It had a combination of combat and skilling in there. It worked similarly to dungeoneering, where you needed people to get items and make them. And during the final fight, you would actually have the skillers making things actively for the fighters in order to counter mechanics.
Oh, you know what it was? I remember why I thought it was so other people did. But when Demonheim was first released, it was released before Dungeoneering was.
Yes.
Everyone assumed it was that.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wasn't too active that.
Because he'd posted this like 6 months before that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Everybody thought that because the response to it had been so excited,
positive,
that Jagex was just like, screw it then, Mark, we're going to make it.
Yeah, it was, it felt very beta dungeoneering. So.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I think is like decent basis for skilling rate stuff? Probably the penance skin.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty tough, but it's totally doable. We've done it as a bunch of noobs.
Yeah.
And
it's doable. I'm not a big fan of the fight because I feel like it's a little messy, but
it probably, like, mechanically, it probably is messy. But it was, if you put like the care into it and made stuff like that, I think it does work. But that's probably the best example in game right now of what you'd expect.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
And I would really enjoy actual skilling raids. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the whole thing is skilling until you just blast them with a flamethrower for
True.
too much damage. You don't do any combat.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're there. It's where I kind of expect it to be.
Good.
It's an update with hype, but not much idea behind it.
After that is a Impling revival. Make them nice.
Not like
not shitty.
Not like the pirate Implings.
Yeah, but based on what we've seen so far, I have no idea how they would plan to do that.
Me neither. It's free stuff. They're giving out just free stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do this.
Like, there are some valuable Implings currently, but it's because they drop items that are expensive. So, until they can find a way to make Implings more useful without doing that, I don't know what they would plan to do here.
Me neither. I think
my only big ideas would be have Implings drop skilling enhancers.
But how many skilling enhancers can we pump into the game through like
exactly
stuff like that?
Yeah,
exactly. It's hard, 27.
It's hard to make Implings worthwhile when their drops can't be incredible because they're literally just flying loot sacks that you just have to click.
What if you made it so when you picked up when you caught an Impling, you'd get a temporary boost for like 30 minutes, and that just tells you what you should go be doing now.
That's a cool idea.
So you see an Impling, you catch it, and they have like this great boost, but only if you go do divination right now.
It's a cool idea.
And maybe have like a lessened version of it for caught
And
ones.
and you would have to do it from the bare hand catch, not from just opening it.
Right, if you open it, you get like just a worse version of it.
Mhm.
That's probably not worth it.
I like that. Could be a cool way to do it.
Oh, Walter would not like it. Oh well. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about this one.
It's just one of those things that I don't think will ever be good,
Oh.
especially after like
Oh,
Pieces of Hate, where we see
Oh,
them
that was-
actively going and doing it, and it's still utter shit. So
mhm.
I mean, the stuff is something, but no one brews.
it's
because you
something,
don't
but
use
no one
stuff.
cares. Like,
Yeah,
who's
Mhm.
gonna actively go and get
brew.
pirate implings for those terrible things?
Nobody.
Exactly.
The next one here, though, moving on, I'm honestly stunned made it in the top 10. And it's the pickpocketing summoners.
I don't see.
I don't get it.
'cause
I don't understand this one. They're acting like this is some revolutionary new concept, and I honestly don't know.
It's an NPC that you can thief from or fight, and they both give you a new item that lets you summon a thing. It's
Okay.
I don't know. It's an NPC that you can thief from or fight. So like Ardoin Guard,
Yeah, like that's already a thing.
but it drops a special tentacle, which lets you summon a tentacle monster.
I don't know. I'm just incredibly confused by this one, and I'm not really sure what they were going for.
Well, it just seems like such an open slate suggestion. Like, I just don't see what people see in it.
At that point, it comes down
Like
to
it,
summoning familiar.
yeah, it reads as, "Hey, there is a new summoning familiar we want to add. The way we want you to add it is you have to be able to pickpocket from and kill an NPC. Pickpocketing gives you one half of it, killing gives the other, so you have to do combat and thieving."
It's just training 2 skills at once.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm just surprised this one was in the top 10, but I think
Yeah.
people are confused. I'm definitely confused. Maybe we're just dumb?
It's probable.
That's likely, yeah.
But
yeah,
that's a thing.
number 10,
We're
Skilling God Books.
I don't.
Good. I mean, it's more
Yeah.
skilling offhand, so sure, why
I
not?
want skilling offhands first, though.
Mhm.
I feel like skilling godbooks has almost become what they suggested skilling offhands to be. Like, it feels like that was the transition that was made.
You know what skilling god books feels like? It feels like a skilling sigil.
I like it, though.
I'd kind of prefer a sigil rather than like.
I think we need more sigils that do more things first.
Yes.
Because right now,
Well, I think
sigils-
these skilling sigils.
sigils feel like an awkward pocket slot.
Well, it's because they barely use this reward space, which is they did that with Pocket Slot when that came out too.
Mhm.
It took them like a year and a half to start actually using.
They finally figured
Yeah.
out, oh, we can use the pocket slot for like trinket stuff, and they
We
finally.
can actually use the pocket slot, yeah.
So now
Also,
they actually have to
am
start
I-
making sigils.
Am I the only one who's still annoyed that we got a fucking sigil slot before we got a belt slot?
I'm more annoyed that we got a
Use
sigil
what?
slot before we got a rune slot, so...
And heck, now we're at this point where auras aren't
Even
in
a
the
slot.
interface anymore, so make fucking sigils the aura slot and get rid of the aura slot.
Yeah,
It doesn't need a slot anymore.
it doesn't need a slot. It just tells you the active one, which isn't it on your buff bar anyway?
It is on your buff bar anyway.
Aha. Yeah, but skilling god books, I think I don't really like the theming of it being more god books,
Mhm.
but otherwise, okay, skilling boosts that are either
But
activated or passive. I don't care.
If you use the existing pages for it, I'm all for it.
No, when they talk about it, though, they're talking making new god books like Brassica and
Oh,
Grim
no, thank you.
stuff like that.
Zaltak Godbook, yes!
I'll take
No,
it.
just take the existing god books that exist and let you
Skilling
do
variants of it?
something to turn them into a skilling variant and use the same pages. Because that adds value to existing items instead of diluting the loot pool even more.
Adds value. Those are like the most profitable things from Treasure Trails right now.
Yeah, and it adds more value.
Those are
Good.
crazy to get. But
But
okay.
yeah,
I think we're definitely in the realm here of things that probably won't get made based on their position in the poll.
I would love to see this one, but I don't expect it.
They can be made on merit, but I don't think because of where it is in the poll it's going to get made.
Yeah.
Like the top 4, I expect, but
Yeah.
below that, it's got to have an idea behind it, and these mostly don't.
Anyway, let's
should we
hop
move on
over to the bottom 10 updates, and we're going to breeze through these ones, I think.
I think these are arguably the more interesting ones.
Most of them I can see being bottom,
No,
with the
these
exception of like
Yeah.
one or two.
Things you'll never see again.
Yeah, but like some of these are ones where like some of these I think we should talk about. Some of these I think we can just go okay and move on.
Expected it.
So the top of the bottom,
10th from the
the bottom of the bottom is extreme skilling potions. Basically, everybody's reaction to this was, so juju pots?
Yes, they exist.
Yeah, pretty much.
And Harmony Moss?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next.
Additionally hilarious is that juju pots are now like totally tradable along with all the components. So like, yeah, they exist. Hell, the fishing ones are wickedly expensive.
Yeah, they definitely have use.
Absolutely.
Most of them.
Anyway, next is aquarium-like area for hunter.
I'm upset about this one.
I am shocked this is on the bottom 10.
So
I
player on farm?
wanted this.
I don't know, I just am truly, truly surprised that this ended up in the bottom 10. And aquarium has been very popular, and memorial has been very popular.
But I think player on farm is basically, I mean, it's got the farming tag on it, but we're getting a bunch of animals, a lot of them hunter animals, and we're collecting them. There's going to be shiny versions of them. It's going to be basically this.
Yeah, so if it turns into this, then great. I'm just stunned to see this so...
Yeah.
The next one I think is even more upsetting.
Quartz 4 is
that had lore with
7th from the bottom.
Oh, man.
Why is this so low? Give me Ports 4.
I can tell you why. Because it's time consuming.
True.
It's not even time consuming.
Because
it's just time gated.
Because it's a comp requirement and it's time gated.
But you know what happens with Ports 4? With Ports 3, it got bumped up to daily status. With Ports 4, probably bumping it up to weekly status, which I'd be totally okay with.
Yeah, though I remember back when they were doing designs for 3, they were talking about how they would potentially not want to go deeper into Ushenko, but go for like penguins and underwater city and stuff like that, like at a submarine.
I still think you do it after the current story, though. So like once you get through the 8 regions, then you unlock the.
Yeah.
I mean, most of them have been progressive in their story.
Yeah.
Except for like 1 and 2.
But yeah, I'd be happy to get tons of story and incorporate more skills into the mini game.
Definitely. I'm just.
Stuff like that.
I understand why I see this one voted low. Comp capers don't want more ports to run through, but I would love some more ports.
Maybe that assumption's been proven wrong later on.
Potentially.
Potentially.
Remember, you can say whatever you want to do.
Maybe they're being modest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wish this one was higher, but I think it's also probably an easier one to implement. I think with Ports 3, we were told that it's gotten easier because the systems are all there.
Yeah, but I feel like Ports 4 would need to introduce a lot of new systems.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did we say Ports 4 was? Was it Ports even harder?
A new Ports?
Wasn't it Ports Hard with a Vengeance?
Oh, no. It was... Oh, what did Lime say that killed us?
Was it A New Hole? No, see, he got the wrong movie.
Live Free and Ports Hard?
He did like the Port Strikes Back or something like that.
Dude, it's fucking Die Hard. We're doing Die Hard.
No, he went to Star Wars.
He went to Star Wars, yeah.
Well, tell him to stop.
Anyway.
Anyway, yeah. Next one is High Level Brimhaven Agility Arena.
So the one they said they were doing.
Yeah. Hell, didn't they already start the graphical rework?
I think so. I think we saw an image.
Yes, but that doesn't.
I think we're just getting this anyway.
Oh well, it's probably. I think it's someone's actually like passion tap thing, so they can do it if they want.
But I'm still a big fan of this idea, as long as they don't turn it once again into, well, you get a ticket if you're lucky.
It's not actually possible all the time.
Yeah, so if they can ensure that it's possible, as long as you are skilled in your pathing, then I'm all for it.
Yeah. And they can.
Because I do enjoy the OG Agility Arena. I really do. I thought it was so much fun back when I was a noob, so. More of that, please. I mean, yeah, but.
I'm glad this next one scored low.
This next one, that too.
Player-owned Treasury. I had a lot of complaints about this one.
Didn't want it.
This was another
confusion.
This was another. Oh, you get rewarded for having money. Great.
Yeah, which Jack Osborne, I believe, even noted that felt like a theme for this.
I love how the thought was like you have this pile of money, and as it grows bigger, you can climb up it to these shelves where there's rewards and stuff. It's like, why are there rewards?
And
on the shelves?
all it does is encourage you to not buy things and just
I'm not.
max out your money pouch
Anyway,
until
that one's not worth talking about anymore.
Yeah, I was glad to see this one pulled low because it did not, in the form that it was pitched on the poll, seemed like a good idea.
Correct. Next.
I am sad to see this one here, though. More Menaphos reputation rewards.
But it comes back later in things that are getting voted on next week.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no.
Yeah.
This one's. Wait, what's this one actually?
Well, they talked about it again, but they said they didn't know if people didn't vote for it because they felt that they were going to have to do reputation again.
Correct.
Or something like that. So.
But no, this got voted down as adding new things, but later on we're going to see they're going to pull just ×2 to all the reputation rates. Maybe it'll get voted in then.
I hope so.
Maybe.
But
That would be nice.
Oh yeah, they called it the Livid Farm effect.
All right. The fourth from the bottom is the 120 max cape.
Good. I'm glad this is
Good.
gone.
Moving on.
don't care. Next.
Milestone capes above 99.
Again.
Won't use them
Good.
anyway.
Bye.
Yeah, I liked this one just because Rowley had a decent idea for it. Just cosmetic fun stuff.
I
But
just don't see
moving
a
on.
reason for one at 100 and 110.
And then I'm actually going to lump the bottom two together because they're
They
kind
did
of part of
on stream.
the overall thing that they did on stream as well. The second from the bottom is 2-player agility course. And below that is dungeoneering races.
People don't want multiplayer.
Basically,
Multiplayer.
people don't want forced multiplayer content.
Yeah. Force multiplayer.
They don't mind it if it's multiplayer content that they can do as a multiplayer.
This one's
But
also
when
a
it's
lot.
content that all you can do is multiplayer, people are less interested.
So this is no solo option. They got
At least when it comes to skilling, because people.
Osborne apparently really wanted to see dungeoneering races, so
I
Yeah, I
have
know.
wanted dungeoneering races since dungeoneering was a thing.
I have not.
Because back when dungeoneering was a thing, they asked they'd been asking ideas for more dungeons. Because back then, I don't think they were planning to just have dungeoneering stay inside of Daemonheim.
To be fair, we already got dungeoneering races. It's
in
called
the form-
Dakatuum.
I do want to see Dungeon
That's a good
outside
point.
Evenheim, but
Yeah.
Anyway,
But yeah, I mean, I understand why these two are at the bottom, and I'm not really all that worried. But
me neither.
anyway, we're gonna move on to the
That's
Comp
it.
Cape questions section. So basically, this is questions about the Comp Cape, and Jagex said they're looking at changing it, but it doesn't mean they're changing anything. They're mostly looking at the way the normal Comp Cape goes, but Timbo outright does not like the Castle Wars rec and doesn't think it's okay.
Yeah.
Thank God.
But that'll be after Concave gets a basis of what the rework
Indeed.
is.
So this question had 34,804 people answer it. Of those, it looks like just around 5K own the Comp Cape, and just a little under 30K don't.
That's a big percentage of people that did this survey that own a Concave.
Yeah.
I
The
mean,
people that are
to
most
be
dedicated
fair,
to the
it's
game.
I think it's about proportional with the game. So
Really, you think like a sixth or seventh of the game is comped?
no, but it's I think it's fair to say that some people
Of
probably
people that keep up with RuneScape news.
I think
Yes,
like
yeah,
thousandth
I'd say
of the
that's
game is comped. Tops.
maybe of made accounts, but what about active
Yeah.
accounts?
No, of active players. I think
Okay.
if there's like 20,000 people playing, 200 accounts.
Wow. But the next question is, what was the main factor behind you achieving Comp Cape? Only 4,833 people were even able to answer this. Most people said a sense of achievement. Second highest was stats, followed by teleports and effects. Then appearance,
Low.
prestige, and nothing else to do.
Osborne's face in this picture is just glorious. What I say?
He looks low-key angry.
Nah. But
But,
some people here are lying.
That was pretty much my face when we get to the quest section. So
Yeah. But yeah, basically everybody cared about sense of achievement, and then stats and effects were a little below, were like decently below that.
I don't think
That was interesting. Because one of the things they are considering changing is the stats, and they don't like it just as the stats best in slot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it should have the same stats as whatever the actual best in slot cape is, which is not the
I
max cape.
think comp should have the stats of the max cape. I have said this multiple times that would be the best possible fix.
I think a best in slot cape can exist from some content, like one thing, and this should have.
I mean, I tend to disagree though, because the max cape is something that you worked really hard for. You maxed out all of your skills.
You don't think anything should be better than the max cape?
Not
Like,
for the given moment, no, because the max cape is the best in slot behind comp cape.
If you had a boss like Solak and it dropped an untradeable cape that was better than the max cape.
Heck, we have capes with higher stats than the max cape.
Well, yeah, in one skill, in one sense.
In one skill, yeah, but they're still there.
I think the comp should be best in slot, but it shouldn't be better.
I think it should be equivalent to the best thing in game.
Yeah, so you can wear the comp cape instead of that cape because you tame the comp cape. You just showed off.
Yep.
I don't know. I feel like comp should be max plus. Like max plus a cosmetic upgrade.
You see, max doesn't equate to being best in slot cape to me because it's not like totally combat related. Like I think best gear should come from like combat challenges like bosses. You don't do a boss to get the max cape. I also think
hello, smithing?
What else smithing?
Are you saying that combat equipment shouldn't come from smithing? Like with the rework?
I mean, it should, but like the best one is being combined with combat stuff.
Well, you're right. But that basically goes to serve that not everything has to come from combat.
Not everything, but the best thing should. Like the best skilling thing should probably.
Or at the very least, the best thing should come from a combination of skilling and combat.
I mean, I also think that.
I mean, max would happen to be a mix of skilling and combat, given that there are combat skills.
Actually, there's more skilling than combat skills.
And you don't have to do anything hard combat to get max.
Okay, that's true. You can literally go grind at chickens. Cyrus did it. Why can't you?
Yeah. but yeah.
But this is also a discussion for another day.
Yeah. A comp cape rework is coming. This is kind of just gauging the initial direction of it.
All right. But they did a poll on the most frustrating and enjoyable requirement.
Oh, look at that top one.
Yeah, most frustrating is Livid Farm.
Don't have that one done.
Next is kill every boss at least once.
I'm glad those two were the top two.
Yep. Complete one of the trios.
This one confused me.
It's a time gate one.
Yeah. I mean, is it just because it's time gated?
Yep, that's it. Yep. And people at like 3 requirements left, like, oh, what's this one with? What's this ports thing? Oh shit, it's gonna take me 3 months.
I really agree with the fourth one though. This one really frustrated me too. Please specify. That shit was ridiculous.
Well, that one, the most common answer was Mage Arena.
Yeah, apparently the most 3 common ones were Mage Arena.
Wait, Mage Arena or Mage Training Arena?
Mage Training Arena, which is really easy. Really? My favorite was number 2. Quite a few people wrote Castle Wars, which isn't even a regular comp cape requirement. And 3, RNG group bossing requirements, which gave insight as to what is so frustrating about Reaper.
What is so
Reaper about frustrating? Yeah. So basically all the people that are really frustrated about their comp cape just don't like the Castle Wars rec on the comp cape that doesn't exist.
Mage Training is one of the 4 I don't have done. Just because I can't stand the area.
It's super boring, but it only took a couple hours.
Yeah, it's very boring, but
I have to get to
it's fairly cheap and easy.
So, I mean, I understand why people filled it in, because it fucking blows, but it's not Livid.
Anything
below it's not Livid at all.
Yeah.
Then the next, 6 here are all very close to each other. Increase all skills to 99. That's not changing.
Wait, did they really call it Lunar Farm?
They did. Move on.
It's not to 99. It's to max. So like.
To max. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Earn the title The Famous. Okay, that's not.
That one's a couple of tries of RNG.
Yeah, but you can do it on the practice run, so it's not even that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Collect 1 of each Impling. Was surprised that was on there.
I don't see why that's hard, but okay.
Yeah. The next one is purchase the first tier of the ARC rewards, right?
That's because it's new and it takes time.
Because people are suck. Complete all quests and unlock all music tracks.
Those are going away.
Yeah.
Those aren't going away because of the next thing we're looking at.
Yeah, and that's the most frustrating. But enjoyable Comp Cape achievements, top 10, number 1, complete all quests.
Good. Wow, I'm very glad this is number 1.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's very like completing the game sort of.
Does this mean we can get more quests now and stop developing random bosses?
No, it doesn't mean that.
Oh.
No, that's not how it works. Next is complete all area tasks. Sweet.
All skills to.
You mean skills all to 99?
Oh, sorry, I said that
max,
as well. I said them both at the same time, but we only talked about.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I did. If I didn't, I'm sorry.
The first 3 are very obvious. They're not going.
Yeah. Complete all quests, get all your skills to max, and complete all the area tasks. Awesome.
Fourth one though.
Fourth one is defeat every boss at least once.
Reaper. So
yeah, it's Reaper.
Some people like it.
So it looks like the frustration is with group bosses.
So I understand why this is on comp, because every boss is very different from each other, and they're all different pieces of content. It's the group boss thing. It's still a piece of the game they haven't done if they haven't done it. It's very large piece of the game.
I really think the group bossing thing is really where people are getting hung up.
I think it has to be on there, but it has you can't just remove it, but it has to be helped.
I mean, how would you fix it? I mean, the best thing I could think of would be putting group bosses on trimmed.
What I saw with Pi's idea for Hostilius, which is the super easy mode, all you get is the lore book, and you get your first kill count. You can't get anything past the first kill count. Other than that, I don't know.
See, I liked the idea is that they would have stages of Reaper, such as defeat all solo bosses at least once.
Okay.
And start including the group bosses and so on to make it more advanced.
This feels like the best argument for the rune score, Kate, where you don't have to do all the achievements. This is a large achievement, but you don't have to do this one to get the 50% rune score, Kate, which has your stats on it.
Yeah, and you can still
but you still
get
do
it
this to work towards the big Kate that is completion.
You just might have to put in some extra work.
Right. So this one, I think it should be a completionist requirement. It feels like it should be one, but it's something has to be done.
All right. Can we talk about how lovely number 5 is?
It's the weirdest one, I think.
Complete all ARC mini quests. Managed to rank as the 5th enjoyable thing.
So can someone tell me why this was specifically added as an option?
Because it's a specific achievement to get your comp cape.
Oh.
It's 10 achievements on it.
I'm pretty sure they included every single comp achievement on there, most comp achievements on there.
That's weird.
And doing all the ARC mini quests is 10 of them, 9 of them, I guess.
I don't know.
I think it would have felt better if they just put complete all mini quests. Seems like that would go down a bit better.
Has its own achievement.
Yeah.
So.
Next one is complete the fight kiln.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boss.
I mean, fight kilns age fairly well, so.
Yeah, and they've kept it updated for the most part.
And then unlock all music tracks. Wow.
Okay.
Cool.
I didn't know that was something you could enjoy.
Yeah, but then the remaining 3 are overlaps on the most frustrating. So, get the title, The Famous, complete one of the Ports Trio, and purchase the first tier of the Wyco rewards.
That's just funny.
Yeah. So.
I'll say that.
Interesting.
This next one, though, this next question.
How do you feel if a new game update comes with a comp cape wreck?
So that thing
4,843 people answered. About 500 said they'd be about 500 said they'd be very frustrated. About 800 said they would be frustrated. About 1,000, almost 2,000 players said indifferent. Another 900-ish said they would be happy, and just barely under 600 said they'd be very happy.
So more indifferent to very happy.
Yeah, so
basically get ready.
So about 3,000 of the 4,000 people who answered say they want more.
They would not be upset with.
Yeah.
Basically get ready. More wrecks are coming.
I like how when they pulled that up, Osborne's first reaction was, well, that's a bell curve.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
Indeed.
Captain
But yeah,
Obvious.
I'm pretty pleased seeing these results here. I think this is a really nice
Content
sign.
should be required to complete the game.
Shockingly, yeah.
I think
new
this
new content.
I think this almost proves the vocal minority thing when it comes
Yeah.
to compers.
They should not have to pretend as if their new content doesn't have completable stuff in it, so that comp cape players don't whine. I think, as we've discussed, the comp cape is a key cape, but you should have to work for it and work to upkeep it. And we seem to have lost that mentality, so it's nice to see some poll results
All comes back
that
to stats.
push it back in the right direction.
Ugh, fucking stats.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Who decided to put stats in these capes?
I don't know. Anyway, let's move on to skilling question.
General skilling, not like update skilling.
Yeah. So, would you be interested in high GP or XP but high intensity skilling?
The answer is yes.
Both were yes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, they would.
So more coming for those.
So, is
More
it
high
complicated to know what the optimal update for skilling is? Most people said, yeah, it's kind of complicated.
How? I don't get that. I mean,
I
Yeah,
think
I don't either.
I think this more means like, what would you be your maximum if, say, I want to go thieving, right? How would you know your
But-
most
the
maximum?
master skill
Okay, let's say
outfit.
you don't go on the wiki. Let's say you don't talk to
Okay.
people. All right, it's just you.
okay.
How would
Okay,
I
so for
know
this-
that my most optimal is the gear plus the crystallized spell plus all this
You know
and this
what?
and this and this?
I am inclined to agree with Crondis here,
So there's a
where
couple things here.
combat has clearly defined stats on their items.
Yeah.
Skilling does not.
Yeah.
I think it's the problem is it's hard to find the items because there's barely any of them. If you had a tab of things in your bank and here's like 20 things you've just gotten from content for thieving, and you look at all of them, you see which ones have the better effects for what you're gonna do, and you equip them, then you know what your best thing is. But if you don't have anything, you don't have any options, then you're just gonna like look on the wiki or something for what you have
I
to
would
get.
I would actually argue we have at least a semi decent number of options now.
I don't think we
But
have options.
Jagex semi decent, but Jagex does an absolutely awful job of making clear which non-gear items or obscure gear items are actually useful.
I don't think we have
Things like your spells, things like pets to use, like the cheeky monkey for
Oh, God,
thieving,
that
which is
one.
familiar. Why is the cheeky monkey still not reobtainable for those that do not have it? Anyway, I think Jagex really needs to step up with more item tool tips that will be very helpful for skilling. Potentially even adding stats in air quotes, such as skilling efficiency
Like-
type stats to make it more clear at a glance
like actual
how helpful they
numbers.
are.
You mean like
Yeah.
what they're doing with the mining pickaxes for the reward?
Yes.
Exactly.
That.
More of that,
I
please.
still think that for each skill you don't have like options as to gear. It's like if you're training hunter, you wear the elite hunter outfit and the yak
Yeah.
beast. There's not really many options there, and I think it's a problem with like actually elite outfits and that they're too good. There's no options there. I think there
Oh, I
should be
totally agree with you.
there should be like you should be making decisions, but I think we need more stuff for that. But I guess for optimal, why does it have to be optimal? Why can't it just be the best stuff you have with you? And
Yeah.
that problem might be that the stuff you get is just so hidden away.
Yeah, but I agree with kind of what the results here were.
Okay.
Anyway, next one. How important is it that each skill have an untradeable benefit? Most people said either important, very important, or neither important nor important.
Seems to be
Very few people said
priority.
unimportant or very unimportant.
It looks
Yeah.
like we're getting this.
It's
with
this is
thing.
the overload effect. So it's just like people want their benefiting untradables. So
But then you get people on the forums and Reddit complaining that they have to train Herblore to do any efficient combat. So
Which is why we need to find alternatives to usefulness other than just for combat.
other than here's X thing that
Yes.
helps you kill X thing.
but that might just be an efficiency thing. But go on, yeah, overloads I'm okay with, like untradeable stuff. I love untradable stuff.
Yeah, it was also the perfect plus potion was brought up.
That's a thing, but I think
They basically said it's a thing, it basically is, but it's so like Prifddinas oriented that it's less
a
interesting.
lot of it is, yeah. Some of it isn't. Like, you can just go to, like, the
Yeah,
demon
not
with it active.
all of it is, just most of it is.
But, yeah, more stuff like that. But not Herblore. We have the Herblore version.
Shockingly.
Um,
The next one is, which of these is the most important to you while skilling? Top one is XP per hour.
By a lot.
Second one is rewards/unlocks. Third one, and almost tied with the fourth one, is how AFK it is. And then the fourth one is GP per hour. Everything else was pretty much just, nah. There was an other category, and then how convenient it is to access and whether you can train
I
it.
definitely think I had
with
a
other
sense
skills.
of how important XP per hour was.
I feel like
We
XP
need
per hour
more of
was
it.
the obvious option here.
It was going to happen.
Indeed.
I
Yeah.
think we need GP, not the community. Personally, I think that GP per hour and rewards and unlocks should be higher.
Actually, and I would actually argue, I think the reason that GP per hour isn't higher is because so few skills are actually decent GP per hour that people just don't even put it into their consideration.
I think
That's
it should
true.
be a consideration. As
I
a
think
trade-off
skills
to
need a
XP.
GP per hour and XP per hour option.
Like,
I definitely agree with you there.
I've been divomaticing shit tons of incandescent.
Oh, I
Making
love
so
the
much GP
Divomatic.
per hour. It's shit XP. I've actually gotten 2 levels like 110
Yeah.
to 112 while doing it. It takes forever.
You've just done a lot of it.
Oh yeah, I'm at 400 mil right now. But it's a great method. I think we need more of those.
Oh, I also just opened Discord, and Walter is correcting a mistake of mine from earlier. Famous is Araxi, the whole Dark Crystals thing, not the
Oh.
Wave 30 or 20.
What were we talking?
So slight correction.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry, Walter. I completely forgot which one that
I forgot
was.
that was a thing.
I did too, because
I
the
didn't, and I was done with it.
Araxor kill in that is literally just go kill Araxor, and then do these other bosses with
That's
debuff.
really easy, yeah.
So yeah, there's that.
So we talked about the GP and importance.
Yep.
The next one, though.
Next one is, if you have a 99 in a skill, do you continue training it? Most people, about 12,000 of the almost 29K players, said no.
I think the better way to interpret that is almost half said yes.
Almost, yeah. Well, see, and then I was going to say about 11K said yes, and then about almost 6K said they don't have 99s.
I also said they didn't know if the yes was skewed because skills can be trained indirectly.
Yeah.
I think it's less that. I think, well, maybe.
I also think it's less that because I feel it was a fairly obvious question, but
if
possibility
you max,
exists.
And you're not like Crondis, you keep playing the game after you max.
Yeah, and they did mean
What
on
else
this
are you
question,
shooting?
keep going for 120 is what they were going for.
Yeah.
But many of us just took it as, well, I mean, yeah, of course I use that skill.
I still just train skills to train skills because, hey, I'm close to 105.
I'm
whatever.
114 fishing at this point, and
Yeah.
I keep fishing because I want bubbles.
Okay, that's a different reason, but I think
Give
people
me
should train.
bubbles.
This next
Sorry.
bit, though, I think is very interesting and may tie into a thing later I want to talk about.
The new skill section?
The new skill stuff.
Yeah. They're not looking at a new skill right now, but if we were, what are your opinion on elite skill?
I love this answer. I didn't expect it.
Almost 10K players said they like them. 7.5 said they really like them. About 7K said indifferent. But combined total of maybe 4.5K players said they don't like them or hate them.
I did not expect this. I thought invention killed
I
it.
really didn't either. I thought invention essentially killed the
Again, I
concepts.
don't think people hated invention. I think they hated that they had to wait so long for batch 2.
Yeah, for me, it wasn't that I hated invention or the elite skills concept. It's that I hated that we got an incomplete skill that didn't have any post 99 rewards anyway. So what was the point?
It's gotten there though now, so we're good.
It really has.
117 is the number to hit.
I think it's definitely gotten so much better than that horrific launch day.
Yeah, but I'm so happy elite skills because I love the elite skill concept. I love the more complex mechanic stuff, and
I could not agree more.
Like min-maxing the machines on like day 1 was amazing. I'm sad it's kind of been solved now. I want more machines, but no, I love those complicated mechanic stuff, and I want to see more of it.
The next question was, what kind of skill would you like the next skill to be?
And they didn't
I'm
know what to
glad
do with this,
Gathering
neither
won
do
that.
I.
Gathering and combat are like neck and
I
neck.
have no idea why combat's up there.
I don't know why Gathering's up there. Why?
Div was gathering.
Because
No,
people
Div
like
is
gathering
gathering.
skills.
Div is the only hybrid.
Here's the main problem with them adding a gathering skill, though, is that it has to be paired with something else, and then we get the div
it just
effect.
generates resources.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's not, if it does something with those resources like divination does, then it's a hybrid skill, not a gathering skill. So I don't know.
That's fair.
Because divination is the only hybrid skill. I think there's no other skill.
And div is really the only hybrid skill because
Invention was so
Jagex
yeah
pushed Invention back so much that they needed to ensure div had something useful on
they
it.
need to make portents and signs and divine locations and all that.
And they did a really good job with those. People
Yeah,
love those.
That was great, but I think hybrid should have been where gathering is, if that's what people meant.
Yeah. And then new behaviors, something new.
That's been in the top before, which I've been okay with. Like
hybrid. Hybrid is the one after that.
Which is divination.
Yep. And then production/manufacturing.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad the last one's where it is.
And the last one is, what is it? Tracking current.
Tracking current's other skill is Slayer. It's Slayer.
Oh. Well, good call then.
Yeah, because the idea they were doing probably do like the artisan skill, like old school tried to do, where it's like Slayer for skilling. But that's just training other skills.
I didn't hate the artisan skill, but it feels more like a return of the task list than it does.
I don't want to just train other skills to train this one skill, and then I'm not actually doing anything new.
No, I don't blame you, and I also agree with you.
That one's fine.
All right. Yeah, and then our next question is, do you think the next skill should have a max of 120 at launch?
I'm glad this is a no.
I would be okay if it is.
About 11K people said yes. About almost 10K people said no. And then about 6.5K was just like, whatever.
Yeah, it's... I think... here's my problem. Every skill that we have at 120 currently did not have 120 content at launch.
Agreed.
Right.
So...
Like, I would be totally fine with skills going up to 120 if
there's content there.
They come built for 120 with content there and interesting stuff to do. But if you cannot manage to make your 120 skill go to 120 at launch, please don't bother.
Do it later.
Like Slayer. Except better.
It's not like you have to change the skill if you do it later.
Mm-hmm.
Other than, because I think, well, if it's an elite skill, the XP curve is kind of built that way.
Yeah, true.
So I guess that doesn't matter. But like, not a normal skill.
Yeah.
And then our last question in this section is, when would you like to be told about a new skill? And the vast majority of players said at the concept stage.
Which they said, "Oh no."
I don't even know why they put it on the poll.
That was a test and they failed.
Yeah.
We're getting told at design stage, not concept stage.
They said maybe a little bit before like pure design stage, but like as they're moving into the stage where it's clear that they're settling on a design.
When we're at concept stage, that's when you create 10 different ideas of unfinished business.
Mm-hmm.
We could do necromancy, we could do shapeshift, and I have to do them all. We've said them all. They've been said.
Yep.
That's concept stage.
Ranching.
We're getting there eventually.
Yeah, and that's the end of the skilling section here. Then we have the combat questions.
Ooh, this is actually a shorter one.
Mm-hmm.
Freeze.
The top combat updates are weapon diversity.
Woo!
Woo! Abyssal monsters. They're already basically done. They were done as part of the game jam. Do it.
Yeah, I guess it's just implementation at this point.
Yeah.
The next one was prayer training via combat.
I still don't get this one.
Was really happy to see Hostilius at number 4.
Yes.
Yeah, I think just because it's solo, people wanted it.
Yep. New dragons.
Glad to see that.
Okay.
That's not much of an idea, but okay.
2-player boss. Yeah, people seem to be digging that.
We're getting Solak. We don't need another one.
As we said last time, I think we need to revisit this after Solak.
I definitely think below dragons is where it's not really not going to happen. Basically,
Pest Control 2.
Don't care. It's mini game. It's mini games. They shouldn't be making mini games. They've proven mini games don't work in the past.
Yep. 2-player Kiln/Waves experience.
Oh, I don't care.
Yep. This was another one of those instances where reading through this, a lot of the answers seem to be no, we don't want forced multiplayer content.
Yeah.
Free-to-play boss, I think this got voted low because nobody cares.
Yeah, not like
paying members don't care.
And free-to-play players aren't looking at this survey.
I'm delighted by the placement of the next one, Seasonal Darkscape.
That's actually above. It's above 3. The score.
Well, yeah, but
it's far enough down. We're good.
It's above a raid option, though.
Please don't waste your time.
That's
Floor
interesting.
61 is a raid, but keep in mind what it is, though. Floor 61 is a raid, not just.
I'm glad it pulled low. Don't get me wrong.
A lot of war players were like, no.
I'm just surprised.
Take floor 61 and make it a raid.
I'm just surprised that people didn't see the word raid and be like, yes, more raids. Not that we have any.
We don't.
No.
Well, domineering.
And then we have the Dungeon Master thing, which I actually thought was cool.
I didn't care for. And
then Castle Wars 2. Nobody wants it.
Dynafire. Onwards.
What combat mode do you use? Revolution. Everybody fucking uses Revolution.
Yes, that's the clear idea here.
Couple people use Legacy, and somehow people don't know.
That was the most funny.
Literally, I don't know is the lowest option.
Why was that an option?
I don't know.
Neither did they.
I don't know. Around 1% of players don't know what method they use.
The thing with Revolution, though, being so high, is that people don't just sit there and let it go. They will click their basic abilities occasionally.
I use Revolution. I will often click my stuns. I will click my bleeds when I think I need to. I'll click my devotion hit or sacrifice hit. Sorry. I use my thresholds and my ultimates and my prayer swaps.
When I go to a boss like Yakamaru and people are be on manual, I'm like, I'm gonna stand Revolution for the 10 seconds. I'm not actually caring, gonna be in the fight or whatever. I'm just gonna click things when I have to click them.
What's nice now is that we can set the length of our revo bar. So that's very helpful for bossing when it comes to using rev.
Because sometimes it just doesn't matter, and you don't want to be clicking unnecessarily. So,
all right. Well, next, how should gear be introduced to the game?
Answer: all 3.
All 3 dropped full, ready to use, add-ons to a previous tier, or dropped component. Basically, people like it when it's mixed up like that. Apparently,
I like it being buried.
Yep.
But we already have it dropped full,
they do
most of the time now. So I think we need the other 2 a bit more.
In the past, they did mostly.
I disagree, actually. I think they very regularly do all of them. We have the components. We have the components / upgrade from the Magister recently. And we have Angel of Death that drops them raw, and Solak who's going to drop them raw. But then we've got things like the Wildy Worm drops.
I think I can name
Lava Strikes drops.
offhand way more that drop.
In the past 5 years, I think they've been very good at being diverse, but before that, it was mostly just dropping full.
Yeah, Chaotic Spikes. We have a decent combination of all these different options, and I think we should continue.
Probably since combat counts, they've been very good at being diverse about it, which is
I appreciate it.
Being diverse.
The next one was pretty interesting. What would you prefer accuracy and defense do?
Basically, would you like us to rework our combat
Basically, no one knows what they want people to do.
Almost every single option got a lot of votes. The top one is just don't change it, though.
So just don't change it. If it's divisive or unsure, just leave it. I don't know why.
It would have to be something that they would have to beta extensively, I think.
Yeah, I think just leave it. It works.
Yep.
People understand it.
Yep.
Next one, I guess a lot of the content ones just
how interested are you in the following combat rewards? New abilities? Yep. New consumable foods? Yep. New familiars? Yep. New spells? Yep. New invention perks? Yep. Weapons with special attack? Yep. Power armor? Yep. New prayers? Yep. New pocket slot items? Yep. New tank armor? Yep. High tier weapons with specs and without specs? Yep and yep. New jewelry, yep. Filling armor and weapon holes, yep. Top tier weapon, yep. And then finally at the bottom, new sigils.
That one pulled the lowest, but it's still above a 3, so it's still positive. I think sigils should be higher since we're so lacking on them, but otherwise...
Yeah, but I think most people are just like, what the fuck's a sigil? And said no.
That's very fair. I'm happy that abilities are higher. I'm happy that I want more special attack weapons. I think that's been lost, and they haven't made good ones with the adrenaline cost yet.
Totally agree.
So yeah, we need some ones that use adrenaline correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next one is which of the changes to the Reaper title do you prefer? Most people said leave it as is, but a decent chunk said have a version of Reaper on comp that doesn't require top end bosses, but keep Reaper on there.
I think the big thing with leave it as is that no great idea has been thought of yet. Like
Yep.
the idea that's gonna take us home hasn't been said yet.
Yeah. Our next question is: do you prefer armor that looks medieval or fantastical? And more players said fantastical, but a lot of players also just didn't care.
Yeah.
I think I like the way that they're taking it, where smithed armor is gonna be realistic, and then the stuff that you get from drops is just gonna be ridiculous.
And I really like that.
That's fine. That works for me.
I think it's a fine system. So
I haven't really been complaining about their looks ever, but
I think stuff like whatever the one is that's dropped from Virago just looks absolutely absurd.
Yeah.
With Tectonic?
Tectonic, yeah.
I think some of the Amascut ones are hilarious looking, but
yeah, I'm with you
that
on
one
that
too.
one.
Like Terralith is hilarious.
Also, Serenic is just hilarious.
I like Serenic. I'm actually very excited to see how the.
How much do you think it looks like a siren?
It just looks funny.
That's the best part too. Is it actually wasn't supposed to be from a siren? I remember back when it came out, they were talking about how it was scales from some ancient beast or something.
No, I swear it was like, because isn't the thread that you used to put it together like from Remora, from the person from Song from the Depths?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So it is Sirenic.
Amalgam hide, I believe.
Maybe it's just like Sirenic made.
Or amalgam thread,
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, I like that they're updating it for that new combat content that's coming in Amnesia 10.
It looks nice.
It is.
But anyway, moving on from that, we have story questions.
Hallelujah.
What are your top 10 story options on here?
Oh, wait, no.
Hey, more free stuff for the stuff we've already done. Quest Point Unlock Shop is number 1.
Yay, great.
Didn't like it.
You can really hear my excitement from my mouth.
Now, that said, I am going to quote something that Osborne said after we did the poll podcast, where he said if it gets people more excited at doing quests, that way they could make more quests.
Yeah.
I'd be down for that.
Coming from with that. I understand where he's coming from with that, but quests already have rewards.
And back to the art we said in the last, they're making rewards that are aimed at questers, not people that
I
are trying to
feel like it would be something that could be a bit more general, though, and they wouldn't have to sit there and contemplate, okay, what's a reward that's related to this quest?
Yeah.
And then come up with nothing, i.e. looking at you, our man in the north.
Yeah.
Fair. But they're like a sword that's best in slot on quest bosses. That's not going to get people to go get
True. That's true.
So I don't know how that logic works.
We'll see what they can come up with.
I guess, yeah. Maybe a
sigil. Anyway. Sorry, if you want to keep going.
No, just a sigil. I just want to put a sigil in there.
But yeah, anyway, the remaining 9 are all quests.
Well, and things in this category are
like all straight quests, not like a system.
Okay, if you look
like
down
Quest Point Unlock Shop, and they're almost all even. Yeah, God Sagas, Wise Old Man Quest featuring Ash for writing, Gnome Finale, a quest that explores the origin of Slayer Masters, Dragon Rider Quest, Desert Treasure 2, Desert Quest Finale, Boss Quests, and New Slayer Quest in that order.
I am shocked God Saga's finally pulled high on something.
I know! People must have liked Children of Ma.
I guess.
But yeah, we discussed these in more depth in the last podcast, so go check that out.
Of these, which ones you guys wanted?
Desert Finale.
Desert Finale, God Sagas.
Gnome Finale.
I could do with
God
Gnome
Saga.
Finale. I could do with Wise Old Man.
I've enjoyed the previous two, and I would really like a Dragon Rider quest as well.
I'd be fine
I
with that.
could see a Desert Treasure 2 if they just stopped fucking marketing it like that.
Stop calling it Desert Treasure 2,
like one of
and
the
I
thing-
could enjoy a quest like that.
Like one of the
I mean, I could
things
still
Osborne
enjoy
was
a quest
going
like
with
that
was
anyway.
like
what it is.
was like Jungle Treasure, where you go to Karamja and do something. Like, fuck, I'd be down for that.
That's
just stop-
literally set up in the quest, so
Just
I'm
stop.
totally down.
Yeah, just stop calling it fucking Desert Treasure 2.
Yeah. Hell, use that opportunity to introduce the Karamja god.
Yeah, exactly.
So on board for. Anyway, they gave us the bottom 12 as well. These are a little more divided, but yeah, for some reason it's the
No, it is
bottom.
10.
It says bottom 12 on it.
Or broken minds.
4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That was 12. Okay,
Yep.
anyway.
Anyway, in order of most wanted to least wanted in the bottom 12, quest list and journal rework.
Okay.
Shame. Random event quest. I'm surprised. that
Actually,
that's that
Questless,
low, actually.
Questless Journal rework is right along with the other ones. They just ran out of room.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But random event is all nostalgia, but I don't want
Yeah.
it.
I'm surprised it's lower.
Yeah, I guess I can see that.
Monkey Madness 2. Surprised.
Do no evil.
Underground Pass 2.
I think maybe
I
that
understand why that
sentiment-
one's low.
I think Monkey Madness 2 maybe comes from the sentiment of old school where it actually sucks. I hate to
True,
say
okay.
that, but yeah, no, it sucks.
Underground Pass 2. I think people just don't really know what they mean by that.
No,
We don't. Menopause quest improvements. I'm surprised it pulled as high as it did. Frankly,
Same, actually.
glad to see it there though.
It got above
Yeah.
Lost Grove, which is very surprising.
Lost Grove quest, but I also feel like because we don't have Solek out yet, most people are like,
Yeah, no one wants to go look
Yeah.
at that rock. in there.
Death of Chivalry 2. What the fuck is that doing so low?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Ernest the Longsword.
Should be lower.
Glad this is low.
Narrative-oriented
Oh,
raids.
but-
Also
Boy,
glad
is
this is low.
yet another time where they put a raid in there and people are like, nah.
Can I talk about Ernest for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because we've gotten an important distinction recently, and there's a difference between a ridiculous quest and a comedy quest. And
Comedy
Ernest-
and farce.
right. Well, I get farce the word. Jack was calling them ridiculous, but
Oh, okay.
so like ridiculous like Gower quest, which we got the one of, and it was very funny.
Ridiculous.
Mention of
No,
Factor.
ridiculous like Evil Dave.
Well, Evil Dave's like more like Gower, I'd say, but Gower has non-canon written on it.
Mhm.
Evil Dave and Back to the
So
Future
should
do not.
Evil Dave, let's be honest.
It should, but like
But
ridiculous quests aren't the tone of RuneScape. The comedy quests, like Pieces of Hate, are. There has to be a story there and jokes within it, and it shouldn't come at the
Yeah.
expense of the story.
Yes.
as we said during the Pieces of Hate podcast, Pieces of Hate proved that Jagex can do a funny quest without sacrificing the story for it.
I feel
Yeah.
like at Gower Quest, the concept of a comedy quest switched over to ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because that
They forgot that comedy quests are generally, hey, here's your plot and something funny to go with it, because Gower was so popular as a non-canon piece.
Yes.
So, what was so great about
Pieces
Pieces of Hate was that it managed to be a serious and interesting quest that happened to have some funny as fuck jokes in it
Yes.
along the
I
way,
can
and
see
ridiculous
the-
events still worked in service of the plot.
The entire zombie head thing
Yeah.
is ridiculous in its own sense, but it's part of an actual quest.
And it was pre-established in a previous quest as a thing. The problem with a quest like Evil Dave's quest was where it seemed very clear that many of the jokes were made to make a joke and the plot was worked in around it, rather than writing
heavy quotes.
the quest and then putting the jokes in as they came naturally.
Yeah.
And I think that's where my problems with Evil Dave's Big Day Out came from. Because instead of feeling like it was really a quest I was playing, it felt like a series of silly jokes that somebody had awkwardly worked into a full-scale quest.
Right. And that's why with Ernest the Longsword, that feels totally ridiculous, the premise
Yes.
of it, like Evil Dave. But like when they said that Ernest the Dragon was almost the same, like I could actually see that one happening after.
Yeah,
Ernest
because
the
he's
Dragon.
yet again another animal.
Well, Ernest the Longsword is so, like,
Weird.
abruptly stupid, where when we were given other options like Ernest the Dungeon, where it's like,
get
fuck
the
it,
joke.
do it,
Ernest-
I'll do it,
Yeah.
fine.
Ernest the Dungeon sounded funny, but it was the reason it stood out to me is because it was a unique concept.
Yes.
We already have the talking perk.
We understand the longsword joke being the mod mark callback to the weapon that you level up and stuff. We understand that. We just don't think it's funny.
But again, we already have the talking perk.
Yeah.
We do not have a dungeon that talks to you and asks you to turn them back into a human. Ow, stop stepping on my spleen.
Did you guys ever...
Thank you, I'm glad you appreciated that.
Of Carnelian Rising when that was pitched, though? Because I felt like with the button, like, narrating the whole thing, it felt a lot like that to me. That concept.
Yeah, but that quest was actually really good.
It was really good.
Like it was okay.
It
was another quest where it was the jokes worked alongside the story, but it managed to have that wink wink nudge nudge meta feel.
I think that's
whereas Evil Dave literally I expected him to turn to the camera at any minute and be like, laugh, Dave.
I think that's another quest that I had a problem with the marketing more than I did the quest itself.
Yeah. I've really started to pay less attention to the pure marketing because I feel like it's really branded some quests wrong recently.
I mostly pay attention to the people making the quests in the streams because they know what they're making.
Yeah, marketing is a different.
To be fair, Wilson is the one that did Heroes Welcome with terrible marketing.
Yeah. Yep.
But he didn't say anything beforehand. He doesn't even have Twitter.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and pop along here.
Broken
Minds, unfortunately, is very low. We're very sad about that. Please give us Broken Minds.
I'm more upset. I'm upset about Broken Minds, but I'm more upset about the one beneath it.
Oh,
yeah, and then right is rework of Salt in the Wound.
Oh, my heart.
Anyway, I don't care that it's second from the bottom. It needs it.
Oh, my heart. It hurts.
And then finally, and I'm surprised by this, is One Small Favor 2 being that low.
I don't need it.
No, I know exactly why it's that low. It's because it's a fucking meme.
It is a meme.
That's why I'm surprised it's so low. You know, it's a meme, so everybody's going to be like, "Oh,
no,
it's
a meme. It's a meme of no, it's a meme of oh my god, it's so bad. I just can't stand it. It's not that bad, guys.
I feel like that's the same with Underground Pass, though. But they both become popular and they get called out as like a favorite quest or a memorable quest.
Underground Pass is
called
really
out because they stood out as something different.
Yeah, I mean, Underground Pass was like the first quest I think we had that was actually like super creepy.
It was our first legit dungeon crawlers, however.
That too, yeah. But
that's such a staple of MMOs, and it was.
But I mean,
to not see one
from memory, I think that was probably the first like horror quest.
Another important thing too is it was really one of the first like big, surprisingly epic quests.
Too,
yeah.
Quests up to that point had been fairly low key. Underground Pass came in as like, oh, just, go through the pass under the mountains, and then you walk in there and there's fucking demons and soulless shit and basically the quest successfully managed to become something that you didn't expect it to be, while also just feeling very epic and exciting. And I think that stood out to players, yeah.
I think the big takeaway here is next time you pull Broken Minds, call it the Centist and Majorat quest.
Yeah, I still think lying to players through marketing is a bad idea.
No. In this case, it's okay. It's justified. just like when you call the Ark the Eastern Lands and put it in a poll. Same thing.
Metaphos was robbed.
Maybe.
Well, this is something that I think Jack said that made sense to me. Where, like, Broken Home 2 kind of got marketed exactly as it is. It's accurate.
Yeah.
It's not lying to the players of Desert Treasure 2.
Yes.
Like, I understand what you're going for, and I know they're gonna say it is.
I understand
it's
they
a
mean
theme.
spiritual,
it's a theme.
thematical.
Yes.
No,
but that's not what a title implies. Putting a 2 there does not imply thematics.
It implies Broken Home 2, not Desert. Yeah. But
like this would be calling Broken Home 2 not a sequel to Broken Home, but just another Haunted Mansion exploration quest.
Right. Is Broken Home 2 even being marketed correctly, though? Like, we understand that the next logical step for it is to go into the asylum and have the Majorat stuff go on, but people that did the quest Broken Home typically aren't recognizing what actually the sequel implies.
Yes, they are marketing it correctly. The problem is that players did not like Broken Home, or some players did not like Broken Home or experienced a lot of bugs with Broken Home.
And you know what? I hear about a lot.
No, I don't even think that's it. I think some of them are marketed. I think some of them are marketed too much as, here is a open idea quest, vote for me, and this one is literally the title that was suggested to them.
Oh yeah.
As opposed
Like,
to
it's-
like
they're
this could have
literally
been this could
using my
have easily
suggested
been
title,
yeah
and I
exactly
love it.
like this could have been marketed as Syntiston
But
time
that's
silo.
that's irrelevant. That's
Blah, blah,
irrelevant.
blah.
So what Vernie is saying is it being advertised correctly to players so that they understand what it is?
It has the keywords already attached to it of the trigger words that people vote for, but they're not
Yes.
using them.
Yes.
They're using the mundane version versus the version people would actually vote for. It's still accurate.
But I think I appreciate that they're not using
They're
the
being reserved.
fancy trigger word. They're using the correct word so that they're not lying to the
It's
players.
not a lie,
Because
though.
Broken Minds was never intended to be go explore Centiston. It was supposed to be go into the asylum.
Which
The
is
problem
like
is, and I got all of this feedback back when I originally pitched Broken Minds, was people experienced a lot of bugs with Broken Home, or they do not like horror, or
Okay.
they did not like how Broken Home played out at all and thought it was boring or disinteresting. And so
Recently,
the idea of a sequel does not appeal to them.
I'm not sure not liking horror is a valid reason, but okay.
Why?
It
Recently,
just
I've seen a lot of feedback of people didn't like the time trial after. Like, that's a lot of feedback. Like, anyone PVM that needs the ring, they did not like the time trial. Just don't.
Yeah.
do it. I mean,
I think the
Broken Minds are
problem-
playable.
Again, though, I think the problem is that these players are going in with the expectation that this is going to be Broken Home, but with a different story. Forgetting that sequels tend not to carry over the exact same
And
gameplay.
expect
And
some gameplay.
Since this wants to dig into the asylum, notice what the asylum did not have. Ghost jump scares after looking through keys, or time.
Right.
it did
you
have a
got-
Zaltak though, so
It was the middle portion where you just got to freely explore, and that was really cool.
I want to see some Zautak.
Yeah. But
I want to see some Nabor twisted by Zautak.
I am extremely biased here, but I still really want to see this quest.
I want to see it, and because I want to see it, I want them to pitch
Yep.
it in a way that'll get voted for. That's my final opinion. But you don't
Anyway,
want to see that pitch out.
How important is story and lore to you?
This one, I
A
don't
little
think
over
is
4K
accurate.
says it's the reason I play. Over 12K says it's important to me. Over 9K say I'm vaguely interested, and about 4K say they don't care.
I think people are bullshitting and being humble. They don't actually think it's important.
Yeah,
I
But
think it's
the,
largely vaguely interested.
the 4K of you that said you don't care, why?
But that I believe. I don't believe the big.
Oh, I mean, I
blue
believe
bar.
it, but why?
I believe the yellow and the light blue bar are bigger. The vaguely interested and don't care, and the important one's lower. I think the reason I play.
I don't know. I think vaguely interested might be humble, but I don't know if I would say something is important to me if it's not.
Yeah. But apparently 15% of players took the survey identified themselves as primarily questers, while 55% just said they enjoy quests.
It's a lot of people.
Good.
I
Yeah.
don't think 55% enjoy quests either, but
But
Maybe
yeah,
skeptic.
they even say that the answers to the questions aligns with how players identify themselves. So I think that's important. Anyway, how important are new graphics and lavish new areas in Quest?
I'm glad with the way this came out. Honestly,
Yeah.
I think it does a good idea of saying we appreciate them when they're necessary.
yes,
I'm happy with how the results came out. I'm unhappy with the discussion they had afterwards.
that's
Because
true.
they reference Pieces of Hate a lot, and one of the things they bring up is they don't want to put new graphics in places you visit once. Look at Pieces of Hate. The one place you visit the most is the one that didn't get updated. The one place you visit in other
Yeah.
quests, in other content, did not
Yeah.
get updated. But we got
And-
a whole new area underwater that we go to once or twice.
And it
Well, here's the
doesn't
thing, they're
do
not gonna make-
anything.
They're not gonna make a new area look bad. That's the
Right.
thing.
Well,
Like they're not
yeah.
gonna make an area and be like, "Wow, this looks like shit. Let's port it."
But like, it doesn't.
But they're asking how important is it to you that everything you do in a quest is in a beautiful location?
Oh no,
They
I mean,
don't have
I-
to graphically update an area they're using for a
Right.
quest or a model. Great, then that saves them money.
Oh, I
they-
completely agree.
They still chose the Rock and Brain Death Isle. Both you visit 2 to 3 times no matter what, over mostly Harmless, which you visit way more.
Yeah, that did surprise
Yeah,
me,
I
especially
don't
since they also
get the
graphically
reason,
updated the
but-
horrors.
Second thing they said in regards to it that I didn't. They said that they put the budget they could have used on it on the deep sea fishing. My only complaint there is you have so many other areas you could have used for fishing. You didn't need a new one. Like Whale
Yeah.
Maw, you could have put. There's nothing there, and it's a fisherman's haven that has teeming with fish. There's nothing
So to
there.
be fair, the requirements on it are a little higher, right?
On what?
I don't know. Whale Small's fairly accessible. Never mind.
Yeah,
What am I
surprising
talking
the
about?
locals.
Yeah.
You put the requirements in the fish, or you could have put it in the guild itself and just put more docks in or something. I don't know, but don't think the new area for deep sea fishing was totally necessary.
I like it.
I like it.
But I agree. I don't think it was 100% necessary.
I would have preferred it on mostly harmless. But that's just put the fishing thing on mostly harmless. I don't know.
No.
Tie it all together, but
Yeah, it was just. I agree with you there. Most players are saying some new stuff in quests would be nice, but a decent chunk also say they don't really care. They just straight up
I
don't.
think something new has to be there. Because
Yeah.
we've got new things happening. Unless the entire quest is one small favor.
Yeah.
I mean, unless the quest is just in the game world already, I don't think it's needed. Like, I'm not of the opinion that every quest you have to go to a new area, so.
But I don't think every quest.
Yeah, I
don't think
agree
there's
with
any
you there.
quests that are being made that are just in the game world. I think everything has some area.
I mean, we'll see, but
Some
yeah.
instance. When's the last quest we did that didn't have an instance in it?
Evil Dave
Any?
was nothing
Evil
but
Dave was all
instances.
Yeah.
Actually, there was some brand newish stuff in there.
Yeah, there was.
That resource dungeon.
That was all
I know it was.
There's always something new. I don't think
Yeah.
there's nothing.
There's usually something new though. Anyway, is it important to have unique gameplay in quests? Yes, quests should always have new gameplay. Got about 6K votes. New gameplay is nice, but not super important. Got like 20K votes.
I'm glad with the way this came out too.
This one looks right logically. It feels bad it feels bad. Like logically, yeah, they said the new gameplay is the hardest to make. So this looks like a good skew of new gameplay to not like always new gameplay. But I always want new gameplay. It's always welcome.
It just depends on the gameplay, honestly.
Right. It has to be good gameplay. It has to be
like one of the things they mentioned was Children of Ma lava surfing. Like fuck that.
It either needed to be
like that was new gameplay that was definitely not needed.
That was the gameplay of the quest, and it was not needed.
Yeah.
I mean, and the other gameplay in the quest was like the go between the light areas on the ground, go to this one, go to that one. That wasn't really needed either.
It was a puzzle.
That wasn't a puzzle. That was walk here, now walk here. The doors are all open. Go to the end.
It's more of a puzzle than anything in Evil Dave.
Yes, but I wouldn't call it a puzzle. There was no thought. Anyway, it's a tangent.
How important is it to have combat in
That blue
quests?
bar should be the entire bar, the middle one.
Almost is. Instead, it just looks like a penis.
But combat.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not.
Well, now I can't unsee it. Thanks.
Either side of the spectrum should be non-existent.
Yeah, basically, if it calls for it, do it. Otherwise, nah.
Yeah, I mean this goes along with a weird like mindset that they've had for a few years, where every quest gotta get that combat in, gotta impress those combat players.
There's a lot of quests without combat recently, I think.
True.
What was the last one?
Children of Ma, Evil Dave, Back to the Freezer, Jack of Spades. Children of Ma probably the biggest one.
Okay, fair
Yeah.
point. Fair point.
Would you like story and non-quest updates? Slightly lopsided penis this time, but some updates should include story if suitable, won by a pretty large margin.
And the second place was all updates should include some story, which I'm okay with it more than not.
If this is what your penis looks like, you need to go to a doctor, man.
That's why I said a lopsided penis.
I'm okay with the skew.
So you have a swollen testicle if your penis looks like this. Please see a doctor.
I mean, I think they've been doing really good recently, like deep sea fishing had enough. Treasure Trails didn't need it, so didn't have it.
Yeah.
It worked.
I agree with you. All right.
I think the problem more comes in when there is an update that very obviously needs it, and they don't have it. Cough, cough, Cowfight King, and every other boss.
I think every boss should, because every boss is an important person or
an important character. Yeah.
An important character in the game, so they should. If a boss is an important character, you fucked up your boss.
Pretty much.
Anyway.
I mean, not that I expect the mole to ever be important, but okay.
Yeah.
It has lore.
Yeah. Next up, in order of preference, how do you like to experience your story? Most players said gameplay, to which Jagex responded, "Huh? How?"
What does that mean?
Dialogue.
Okay, no.
Yes.
No. Okay. When they were confused about gameplay, I put this as number 1, not because
Same.
it's like the actual gameplay. I put this as in I like to experience my story in game. That's what I took out of the word gameplay.
No, I didn't mind like as like a like not like specifically gameplay, but like generally while I'm doing like a quest or a piece of content, I want story. Not like I'm sitting there reading a book.
Y'all are weird.
Yeah, like that's how I. Well, because
lore
like
books are not my favorite.
I mean, I like
love
I
lore
would put lore
books.
books more than it would on here.
Yeah,
I
but
put
like
it higher than items and
when you
objects.
say gameplay, to me, that is like I'm doing a clue scroll and discover lore along the way.
I don't know.
Which
I
would
felt
be cool as shit, but like
Yeah, but I put my gameplay more as like a general, just like while I'm doing.
Okay.
I took gameplay as in like I am playing a game. Like
I took
a quest
gameplay
or
as
something,
I am playing the game at all.
Okay,
how
yeah,
I wanna experience it.
like quests, I think is how I would
Yeah.
interpret
See,
gameplay.
I took
Right.
dialogue and cutscenes and lore books as stuff from quests.
I
For
think that
gameplay, I generally took that as I'm off doing a clue scroll, I'm off fishing, I'm off doing this
Gameplay's
and
very-
that.
I think gameplay is a bit too ambiguous of an
It is.
answer.
Yes, I rated it fairly highly, but it's because it's such a catch-all term.
It does.
Yeah.
I put mine as like a catch-all. Like gameplay for me includes like I'm doing deep sea fishing. I
Yeah.
see the NPC. I talk to them. It's dialogue, but it's while I'm doing gameplay and stuff.
But interestingly, I would say the top 4 are ones that are clearly part of your in-game experience. Gameplay, dialogue, cutscenes, and graphics. Item and object names was the next one.
Be so high. I don't get it.
I think a lot of people have really appreciated the way Dark Souls has done story.
Yeah, I don't think we're getting that.
Dark
But,
Souls
I don't
doesn't
know.
really have story that is obvious in your face. You have to go looking for it.
Which you get from items and object names and descriptions.
Yeah.
Just what I mean here.
I'd switch item and objects with lore books, and I'd be probably pretty happy with this.
But then everything below this is exterior, as I would put it. Lore books, reading the wiki, RuneScape website content, and RuneScape novels.
I don't know if I'd
The
say
reason-
lore books is exterior.
The reason I say lore books are exterior is because it got the same number of votes as reading the wiki, and you don't need to be in game to read a lore book when you can just.
I mean, I have to
The
wonder
wiki
how
open.
many % of people
In fact,
look at the wiki for a lore book, though.
I would argue that it's easier to read and digest on the wiki when you don't have to
Yeah.
scroll through pages with the weird.
That
yeah.
interface. Yeah.
Yes.
I think that reading the wiki should be the bottom one though,
I mean, I agree,
and then novels, and then web content, and then whatever.
but I
In that order.
absolutely understand why votes in this one
Yeah.
are.
I don't know. I think I'm kind of there with novels being at the bottom. Because, like, I like
love
the novels and all,
they
but
are
I think
permanent
they're-
in print. They cannot be like easily edited afterwards.
Yeah, it's...
Because Betrayal at Falador was, and that kind of fucked with things a little bit.
Yeah. I see it causing more issues than it...
A novel is long
Fixes.
form. A lot of people do not have the time to do that. And while I would love more RuneScape novels, I'm not banking on it,
You
and
want
I
more
would not
RuneScape
be
novels?
sad if it never happened.
What did you say? What would you? What? How do you feel about RuneScape novels?
I would love if more of
No,
them
you
happened.
said that word differently last time.
Said love, except it's just really long.
I think there was more O's.
Probably like 9 or 10, maybe. But
Sorry.
yeah, like I would love some more novels, but they're long form. Any mistakes that need to be fixed or anything can't really just be freely and easily fixed.
Mhm.
And as such, I understand both a player and Jagdix's reluctance to continue with novels, especially since they are more than happy to kind of go back and clean up and retcon things if necessary.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I am kind of upset to see web content like Lores and Histories near the bottom, because I like those.
I absolutely branch web content such as lores and histories in with something like reading the wiki or lore books.
Web content?
It's the exact same thing where it's you sit down and you're not playing the game anymore, you're just sitting there reading. So seeing all of these lumped together low at the bottom makes perfect sense to me.
But web content, it could, when you have the option, put it on the website or make it a lore book. You should just
Oh
make it a
no!
lore
Oh, I
book.
would definitely go for
Yeah.
lore book first.
Or in Mod Raven's case, make it into a tale.
But nothing like that is a lore in history couldn't be a document in the game.
I totally agree. They should be in game.
Why not just move the ones they have in game too? That'd be a
Or fucking take the ones that you put on the website and put them in game, like the freaking what's Wizard Chambers' forum thread lore that I was told
that literally
80
never got
fucking
in
times
game.
would go in game and it never got in game. Where is it? Give it to me.
That's a little.
Sorry, that was really aggressive. I'm tired.
Yes.
But no, like that was something where it was like, hey guys, what's the status on this? Oh, it's just awaiting translation. 2 months later, hey, what's the status on this? Oh, we just gotta, plug it in now. I thought you'd already plugged it in. It was in translation. Yeah, it is in translation. So why isn't it out yet? It's being translated.
We lost our translators to Yakamaru. Fuck.
Yeah. But basically, like this was stuff that was literally on the forum, and now we can't access it anymore because it's gone.
Oh well. Wah, wah, wah.
Indeed. Anyway, area world
Storia.
/ the top updates for the area and the world.
They're world events.
Aggressive, angry stare at exploring the wilderness before the explosion.
This thing right here is actually inverted. The result should go the other way.
Reading them, yeah, kind of. But no, apparently time traveling back in time in the wilderness to explore it is the #1 thing players want. Y'all are dumb.
Yes. It's worth noting these are all above a 4.
Yeah.
So they're all rated high.
Mysterious Continent, sweet. I like that one.
I like the
still
update release strategy for that one, yeah.
Yeah, that's really the thing I care about. Exploring the Demon Homeworld and Furnace, let's do it.
I'm happier that's the one of the world that got the highest out of the 3 worlds.
Yeah, and then it beat Exploring the Avian Sea Homeworld.
Nah.
There are people that will be upset by that.
It's too much of a meme at this point.
It really is.
I'm glad that Infernus.
The fact that it's rebounded a little bit from "I never want to see this quest, you people are annoying."
It's because he changed the quest.
That could be cool.
He changed the quest.
Yeah, he did change the quest, but
or at least gave us.
I'm glad to see that Infernus has more interest in Avana. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although the skull,
yeah, reclaiming barren parts of the wilderness fucking got votes. Why?
I don't know.
The wilderness ones we both don't.
It's a bad idea, and you should feel bad for voting for it.
Like I can see like a very tiny spark of idea here, like fucking Dariak, right? No one even knows what that fucking is.
Yeah.
It's Dariak. It's one of the.
That was a joke. Move on.
Okay, yeah. It's like I can see like wanting to do something with that because it's basically just places we know the name for and that's it. Like I can get it in a very like vague idea, but I just don't see it working out well.
Basically, if they want to make Revenants run wild and get rid of PvP, then sure, I will happily reclaim.
Yeah, it seems like a mechanical.
But until then, no, thank you.
Why would you pull such hard coding on yourself when you could instead not pull it?
Next one is exploring the Icene homeworld. Cool.
I'm okay with this one.
Yep. Then Fossil Island. I'm surprised that's not higher.
Abyss.
Oh, exploring the Abyss.
Don't need it.
Hostilius.
It's literally nothing.
Hostilius.
That's a separate thing.
It's basically Hostilius.
I'm surprised Fossil Island is so low, given that
Old
Old
School
is getting it. So
they already
got it or something. Yeah.
Giants Homeworld got higher than I was expecting.
That one's just on concept alone. I don't care.
Not a bad concept.
It's just everything's big.
Yeah.
Let's go Cyclosis.
Yeah. Next one, Daemonheim spills under the surface. It basically already has.
I'm glad this got
Except instead of spilling, it's just taken like little concentrated poops around the world.
It's called resource time.
Exactly. Why the fuck is the skull this low?
What do you people have against the fucking skull?
What do you want?
And you know what? The sentiment for the arc is like gone so high since it got released. Sentiment's only gone up. Like
Our skull doc was so popular on Reddit.
people love the arc at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know how the skull is so low.
I'm really surprised. Anyway, Zaya in the 6th age is 3rd from the bottom.
I'm glad that got low.
Thanks to wants it.
I still think it's a thing that's like, once we're done with all the stuff that we currently have and are working
Here's the
on,
thing.
yeah, I could see this being interesting.
Zaya's
but not-
done
I
most
just
of
have
it,
more things that I think are more well established in the game.
Yeah, which is
That I would wanna
exactly
see. Yeah, that I would want to see first before we're importing old school content.
that's exactly the angle I'm on as well, where
They
it's
don't
a once we've got all of the Arc regions and Fossil Island and la-di-da, then we can talk about Zaya.
They don't even have it done on old school. They still have like big
True.
splotches of black squares, and they're not putting out a task set until they're finished with it and stuff like that. We don't even know what it all looks like or has.
Next one is Sea Monsters Attack.
Glad
that
this
one was
is
really
the fucking
boring.
bottom.
Sure.
It would have been a great part of the Port Sarum event,
Mm-hmm.
but that's it.
And then that's
Really
it.
this overall event. And then finally is Dungeoneering 461.
This one
right at the
hurts me.
bottom. Why is that at the bottom?
I think this is at the bottom because people see floor 61 and think they're going to have 120. When this has been repeatedly said over and over that they don't.
It's
You know what?
fascinating how aggressively dumb people are when they vote on things sometimes.
I have a theory.
And unless like we're wrong here and we're coming from the wrong spot, which we probably are. But like if the real reason people did not vote for this is because they thought they needed 120 invention, what is wrong with you?
Engineering. Here's my theory.
You need 120 invention to go to the bottom of Demon High.
My theory is Abena went up to 4th place, so the meme vacuum had to be filled, and this is the next piece of content that's been mentioned so many times. It went to the bottom.
Oh yeah, and since they're in 4th, I guess they're Team Liquid now. Nice.
Oh, jeez.
Dropping that League of Legends joke that like some of our listeners will get.
No one's gonna
Ooh,
get
look
that.
at me, I'm so hip to the people.
Floor 61.
Hello, fellow kids.
Indeed. Yeah, I'm surprised to see that this low. That's freaking ridiculous.
Sad, but the skull should be higher.
Event questions.
For events, which of these events do you enjoy? Obviously, Double XP Awakens in first,
Ugh.
followed by holiday events. Good. Followed by world events.
Pause.
Pause.
No,
No, pause. This was done before the decision to not do an Easter event was made. Now,
Oh, the decision was already long made.
yeah,
The
now
announcement.
as of
We have
52
brand new.
minutes ago, hot news. Haziel on Twitter asked, why was Easter cancelled, to which Osborne replied, it's far less played than Halloween and Christmas, once polled against permanent content, update and lost, like Cabbage Face Punch Bonanza, and they wanted to do more permanent content.
So they did the fair instead.
So they did the fair instead.
They didn't do it instead.
Yeah, no, like I see where they're coming from here, but in the future, just make your spring update, not Easter update, spring update, spring focused permanent content.
So when I said on here, or just throwing out the suggestion of reusing last year's Easter since that was a good event, he said that Tribute and I also mentioned that Guthix Butterflies are reused every year. And he said Tribute and Spring Fair are replayable and were designed that way. The Easter event is not and was not. It also wasn't well played or loved particularly.
Put it back in and let people play it and love it.
Yeah, I think Broken Home just like been the best example of what, maybe not to that scale because Broken Home was of large scale, but like permanent content.
Yeah. Anyway,
related
moving on.
Thematically. Yes, moving
World
on.
events was next. Great, do more of these.
Yeah.
Winter weekends, yeah, it's free shit. Crater events, yeah, it's
All
free shit.
All
Invasion
of them
event,
free shit.
yeah. Escalating skill events, they got old. Raffles, every single one of those votes was from Flare Fox.
Free shit.
Currency events.
Again, jokes that no one's gonna get. Damn it!
No, everyone's gonna get that one. No, who doesn't know Flare Fox?
People will get that one.
He's crazy.
Currency events, I'm not surprised these are so low. People got really worn out of these.
Oh, but not as low as the last one.
No. Road trips way down there, and then bingo card events.
I'm
People
glad
got
this is the
real
fucking
tired of
bottom.
those.
They got
I
tired
used to
of real
love
fast.
these, and then they fucked them.
The activities always suck.
They
Every
always
time.
suck, and they just did them like every month, and it was annoying as hell.
Yep. Anyway, I'm going to jump right into the next one. The following are event ideas. Which ones do you like the sound of? Monthly winter weekends is, of course, shockingly in first place. Hey guys, get some free stuff for not doing anything. Event. Yeah. Duh, of course that's in first. Next one is customize my weapon. Start the event with a weapon that changes appearance as you use it. We've had events like this before. King Rattlin's sword.
No, it doesn't mean that.
Okay.
It means you get an item, and like you have it for a week, and if you go like train woodcutting with it a bunch, you get woodcutting benefits, and then it's like it evolves. I don't think Rattlin. No, like it's like personal.
Oh, okay. Okay, so basically every weapon we'd get would turn into a fishing rod for me until I get bubbles.
And then you'll never get bubbles, so all of your weapons are now fishing rods.
I'm just going to have a bunch of fishing rods. Dedication events get increasing XP multipliers if you dedicate yourself to one training method, like fishing.
That sounds like a pain to code. Like, you get dedicated if you're just doing monkfish.
See, what's even funnier about this too is we have so many ways of getting like XP and other skills accidentally. Like fuck, fishing has barbarian fishing. Oh, I just got that strength and agility XP. Guess I'm not dedicated.
These top.
Yeah, weird.
These are all just like free shit.
Drop events, free shit.
That or not free shit.
Item drop bingo cards. A bingo card of drops. Bird nest or stellium keys complete a line. RNG. Nah. Opt-in safe PvP events. I'm surprised this one's lower because Bird and the Beast PvP was a blast.
Bird and the Beast had good PvP events, but the problem is
no rewards for it though.
No one cared about it because there were no rewards.
Actually, that's kind of a lie. Everybody cared about it because the rewards were, hey, you get 10% more XP.
False.
Free construction.
I was about to say most people just sat there and did their free construction and didn't care. Did you ever see those?
But they no. So I'm saying they opted in because of it. Yeah. They didn't have to participate in it, but they opted in so that they could get the higher XP. And I did see people fight over there. And then
I rarely saw people in the parades or whatever they called them.
Was because it was so skewed as to everyone was on Armadillo.
Yeah.
So it was like
also, mind you, Crocky, I was in the top like 80 for the alchemists for this event. I saw combat everywhere.
I see what's going on.
Like I saw a lot, like so much combat.
The alchemist was broken, man.
It was so much fun, dude. But it definitely like skewed more if you were somebody running around doing camps, trying to get involved in everything so you could get that next alchemist. But yeah. Our final one is time-limited bosses, basically the Mimic. People don't like this.
Yeah.
Cool.
And last one.
Top miscellaneous updates. World map optimization.
Wait, you skipped what elements are essential for a seasonal holiday event.
Oh, did I? Whoops.
Let me run through it so fast.
All right. What's essential? Cosmetic items, access to older items and rewards, discontinued items, quest-like story content, repeatable skilling, social elements, new emote, hub area so that everyone can be together, new music tracks, combat encounter, episodic content, and, of course, the least important element for a holiday event seasonal piece of content is that they don't play holiday events. So.
These are all fairly even until you get to the bottom four.
Basically.
So. I don't think repeatable skilling is that important. I like that hub area is lower because that's part of the repeatable skilling that I don't feel is important.
So I do want to point out that 1, 2, and 3 are rewards, and then the very next one is quest-like story content. I'm glad that's above skilling. So
it should be quest-like. Why have they not been? Why have they just not exist this time? Spring Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, that's that.
Moving on to miscellaneous.
And then the top 10 miscellaneous updates. World map optimization. Cool. Dedicated month of ninja fixes. Cool.
No, I don't want
that. No, please don't.
Cluttering in the game world. Cool.
Can we stop at ninja real fast?
Sure.
I want content. Go on.
All right. What is this next one? Reducing and simplifying.
Dailyscape?
Dailyscape. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Make functional.
These are just unreadable at this point.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Making something functional is apparently important.
Let's make things functional.
The group finder system improvements.
Ugh.
That needs so much.
It needs work, but I don't think it's worth it.
Probably
Yeah.
not. No one likes groups anymore,
Improved chat functionality. Yeah, that would be cool.
I guess.
Minigame hubs is right up there too.
Sure.
Sure. Interface redesign. I
As in, I
guess.
redesigned my own interface because it's fully
Because
customizable?
NIS and
I don't really know what they mean by this.
I don't know.
I think it is hard to learn the interface for new players. If that's what they're
Probably.
talking about,
If they
awesome,
want-
go for it.
They can tutorialize if they want.
Yeah,
There's a
totally.
tutorial.
But
Here's
I'm
my
not-
thing with NIS. If your interface sucks, it's because you suck at making it. So
Yeah, but again, also I will remind you that a lot of new players just have trouble learning how to make a good
Yeah, so
interface.
put a bunch of tooltips that you have to run through.
Yeah, help players out.
Build your first interface.
Also, please stop giving us such awful pre-made customizations.
I mean, that's
the number one way of turning new players off of the game is when even your preset or your pre-made interface options are bad.
Anything with any any interface with you have to scroll through different interfaces is bad. If you have to use those arrows, we have to go through different tabs. It's not good.
I mean, I actually have that on my personal interface, but
good.
I have keybinds, so it doesn't matter. I never click the arrow.
Tear those things apart. Separate.
Right. Anyway, Pet Park is pretty low. More Pets is pretty low. Prestiging is really low. World and server reduction is low.
The prestiging one was specifically to give your XP to your pets.
Yeah, which is weird.
Which is weird.
Unique clue scrolls was super low, thank God. And finally, the lowest one is removing Tuska from the game world.
Of all the things that don't matter, I'm glad that came in bottom.
They even specifically commented in-house they thought Tuska was an eyesore and that it would rank higher. It didn't.
Only an eyesore if you look at it all the time. Because you rarely see it, it's not an eyesore.
I mean, yes, this was a good point that I thought was brought up. I think it was on Discord, where Lumbridge Crater was right, like, in the middle of where new players were, and, you see it very often. Tuska's out in the middle of the fucking desert. Like, you're never gonna see her.
Not even the middle, off the coast.
Yeah. When you see it, you're reminded, you're not like, oh.
Like, when you see it, you're like, yeah, it's fucking ugly, but you don't ever see it, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Who cares?
And it's not like they're just gonna remove it. They want to do it's slowly sinking and over time. It's too much effort.
I was gonna say it's a little late for that, guys.
Just leave it. Okay.
Everything past this is just a rehash, so.
It's whatever.
Yeah, and then they want to have players help them build a backlog.
You skipped all the overall ones.
Yeah, because the rehashes.
I don't care about the overall ones. That's a rehash.
The top 5 of the overall 10.
Top 10 overall updates. Improving the skill cape perks and master skill capes. Weapon diversity. Quest point unlock shop. Farming update. Exploring the wilderness before the wilderness explosion. World map optimization. Agility overhaul. Mysterious continent. Dedicated month of everyone making ninja fixes and decluttering the game world.
See, a couple
Moving on.
I hate 8 of 10 of these.
Yes.
Same.
Moving on.
Okay, build a backlog. We've got a lot to talk about here.
Basically, they want players to help them vote on what they want in the game and what's on the backlog. Yeah.
And these are 30 updates we've not seen before.
Yep. So smaller updates allow players to switch the options on items on their action bar.
This would be very
Bounty hunter
useful.
closure and reward redistribution.
With the
Please do this. Jesus
certain
Christ.
items just have drop as their first thing because you always drop it. Standstill.
Yeah, but some of them have several functionalities.
And some of them you want to drop, but they don't have the drop first.
But yeah, they know what we mean.
Yeah.
Bounty hunter closure and reward redistribution. Yeah, do it.
Please.
Dungeoneering contracts, goals for dungeoneers. I don't know what the goals would be, but cool.
Yeah, I think these are skilling contracts, on the Arc, but in Dungeoneering.
Yeah. Love elite hunter creatures. I think that's a really great idea.
I want to bring back the big game hunting idea I had.
I do not like elite summoning familiars. That feels
This
very
is just
RNG.
another things with the thieving familiar things from earlier. It's what is this?
What is this?
Encouraging exploration hidden items across the game world. So things like Dead Quest? I don't really know what they want with this
Is it more hero items?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Like throwing in 5 hero items at once.
Although I don't know why they would call a hero item encouraging exploration. So
yeah,
I don't know
how to get it.
I don't like that this pull option is simply double Menaphos reputation. I think it needs more than
I
that.
think they'll get auto-voted.
Yeah. Gillinor Games Agility Sprint minigame, bringing it back. Sure, that was fun.
I didn't like it that much.
I didn't either. I didn't like
It was
almost
fine.
anything from the Gillinor games. So
I thought it was both fine and fun.
I still have nightmares about cheese rolling.
Loot caskets dropped from
wait.
skilling?
What if the Gillinor Games agility minigame is the agility overhaul?
Oh
Oh
god.
my god. Anyway, moving on because I'm really tired and I'd like to get through these. Loot caskets dropped from skilling, not really sure what they mean by this one.
I don't know either.
New invention tools for Hunter, like a Clockwork Falcon, I think is really
I like
cool.
that idea too.
I think we need higher level falconry stuff before we would want to use that, but okay.
Something for like other skills.
Pyramid Plunder
and
hard
with-
mode, I think is really cool too.
With those invention tools, also do like perks, like that iron making and smithing got when we got those
Yeah.
tools, like specific to the skill. So they don't have to be
Yeah.
so general.
Yeah, I'm totally good with that.
Pyramid Plunder hard mode, I mean, at the level that you'd have in hard mode, you're onto the good thieving things.
My
Yeah.
thing is just like, are
Well, that's
people
what
not
I don't understand is like what would we need to do with that to actually make it hard mode?
Pyramid
Just
Plunder,
less time? Because that would be pointless.
Pyramid Plunder is there to get you to the people that you can AFK thieve. Once you're there, you don't want to do more Pyramid Plunder.
I mean, you could do like you're timed, and then if you run out of time, you start like losing health rapidly.
But like, are you doing this at level 1, or are you doing it like hard mode, like at the?
I
end
would
of the season?
assume like as soon as you can do it, right?
Yeah, I have no
I don't know.
idea.
I have no clue.
These are very vague.
It would have to be
Um,
something like the more rooms you have unlocked, the more time you would have so you could get through them or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But I think more Pyramid Plunder-esque type content certainly wouldn't be
Which
bad.
we'll get to later for
Yeah.
not thieving.
Alternate divination training method. What do you have in mind?
I think they're thinking like deep sea. If like
Okay.
put some more AFK methods in, put some more intensive methods in, and just like
Cool.
diversify.
Yeah, do it.
I'm
It
happy
would
with that.
even be a way to get fading memories back in the game for reward space.
Yeah.
All right. Next, dungeoneering, trekking, temple trekking, and dungeoneering.
I don't.
I feel this is a little overly complex here. Thematically, I don't like this.
I think you'd just be recopying the mechanics from current temple trekking and putting it in
Yeah.
Evenheim, which I don't care much for. It's just
I don't like the system.
Basically,
of-
go with the companion, pick a room, go into the room and clear it, pick another room.
Yeah.
Boring.
Yeah, I don't. I
That's-
don't like
that's
the
dungeon-
mechanics of.
It's dungeoneering
Sorry,
with
so-
weird choices. Garden of Tranquility 2, making Varrock attractive. What
I don't-
story do you want to tell here? Tell me
One
what
of the-
story you want to tell here, and I will vote.
Story. They're gonna put random new graphics around Varrock. They're not gonna update the whole thing because they have to update all of new Varrock at the same time. I don't get it.
Yeah.
It's
High level falconry. Hey, perfect. Yeah, do it.
Sure, do it.
Invention golems, gathering daily items. Yeah, do it.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, do it. Curdle's origin quest. Sorry, that was really aggressive.
I don't understand your opinion there.
I no longer have to go around and gather
It
things.
just feels
makes me
like-
it makes me put in cost in order to get my daily items.
Yeah, I mean, this
Cool.
feels like a solution to Dailyscape. Is
I like it,
have this thing that does it for
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
Curdle's origin quest.
Yeah, sure, do it.
I don't get
It
why
feels
this.
years late. Bring back the Day of the Dead event thing, and that would be enough.
So I
No. The Day of the Dead thing was very.
Curadel's thing for that was enough.
I
think-
disagree, honestly.
because she's like a fan favorite, they're trying to overdo it. Either the information they want to tell can be told in a lore book, which is just like her parents and stuff,
Or they've got something big enough that it needs to be in a class.
Honestly, I
read
think what they're
part-
doing here is they're trying to take the Slayer Master quest
that's why I
thing
think so
and then
too.
they're
Yeah.
pasting it with a popular one.
I think
like,
you do this
I
as a
would-
part
I
of the
think-
whole Slayer Master quest.
I think we could get a good
Not
quest
a full
out
quest.
of her and her relationship with her dad, who her mom is, her relationship with Lapalock, if there is one. How did she become
gonna be-
Slayer
Yeah.
Master? I think there's some good options here.
Yeah, anything Amascut was involved in would be more interesting. But I would
Yeah.
care more about an actual Slayer Master's quest than a
Yeah,
Curdle.
with the Amascut. I'd go more the Amascut route and have this a small part of it.
Yeah, I could go with that.
Anyway, next one, new aquarium fish from Waterfall, dungeoneering in deep sea.
How the
Yes,
fuck-
please. But don't do this unless you add more perks as well, because we already have empty perks.
Oh my god, could you imagine all the dungeoneering fish for
I
an
would
aquarium?
love that. I would really actually love that.
Oh my god, that would be
How
terrible.
the fuck did Waterfall make it on this list and Ark and Menaphos did? Waterfall is 1 fish.
Yeah, no, like, I agree with you too. Like,
But,
Ark
yeah,
is 4 fish as well.
and Menaphos is 3, so you have to include
Yeah.
those. Probably.
Yeah, but like, I totally agree with you.
Put those in there, yeah.
Yeah, put those in there. But I think we need some new perks with this too.
New
But
perks.
otherwise, I love it.
And I don't know how you do prestiging for people that already have. I
Yeah.
don't get it, but semantics.
Player-owned armory. Show off your collection. That's a cool idea.
This feels a lot like player-owned treasury to me.
It feels like it, but at the same time, I think the idea of
It's a
building and growing a collection of items is cooler than make a big gold pile.
But is this just taking your storage room and your POH, like your costume room and your POH, and just putting like models out on display?
I hope so, because I like that.
That's okay. I mean, it doesn't seem like very much of a.
We already have a couple ways we can do that with like up to rune items, so why can't we do that with everything?
Yeah, I feel like it's just displaying things, something, a system that already exists.
Skill cape quests, dumb.
I don't care for it. No.
Dumb. No.
No. Like,
I know I'm not going in depth here.
I think the Raharni Wildcat thing could be an interesting thing for a lore book at most.
But that's literally like some extra lore about actual skill.
Yeah,
cape.
I think that would be a single lore book worth of content. Anything
I
else
love
is just
the skill
extraneous.
focus quests like Firemaker's Curse.
Yes.
I do not like the idea of a quest that requires level 99 for something. As somebody who has above level 99 in everything.
Okay, no, I'm gonna put an opinion here. I don't care about a 99 rec for a quest. I don't think it's time for that. I think we need to hit 90 before we hit 99. An 87 to 99 jump is too big. And I'm someone who constantly advocates for 90.
87 is the highest rec we have in the game, I believe.
Yeah.
85. But I think the idea
You're
here
not, wait, didn't... No, okay, never
Pretty
mind.
sure it was
Whatever,
an 87.
Whatever, but
no, my
but
thing here
99 is too high for a quest rec right now, and I don't think completing a skill should be a... Well, mostly completing a skill should be a requirement for a quest ever.
I think the idea here is there's no story to it. They just want to put 99 on a quest.
Yeah, which is dumb. Don't do that.
Yes.
You have a story
Yes.
first, then think of a number.
I
Probably
also hate the trimmed skill and combat pets update.
Yeah, I don't care. It's just more RNG.
That's just, hey, did you get lucky enough to get more?
I don't really
Anyway,
care. That's that much.
Moving on to larger updates. Raxor quest.
Sure.
Sure.
He needs lore. I'd rather
sad thing is
Telos.
The sad thing
I'd
is
rather
he won't on this
Telos.
list.
No.
Yeah.
I'd rather not
Other things.
think that Telos exists for a little longer.
Can we
Or a
do
rework.
Can we do a Hellbeer
Okay.
quest? I want Hellbeer quest.
Or a rework would be fine.
I don't really care.
Challenge improvements. I would rather not this taking a large update slot.
Yeah, it's a lot of these ones they take up resources.
Yeah.
And I don't want them
The next two really, I'm giving them support to as a clan leader.
I'm
yes,
not giving them
I
support.
think
would not do them.
clan updates are needed. Do them.
I think clan updates are needed, but a clan
Depths
boss?
So
I would participate. in
I'm
this as
literally
much as
putting that
anybody.
one on there. I'm putting that one on there because if they do it right, players will want to do it. And if they do it wrong, it'll be as dead as a citadel.
Same. That's how I feel it's
Yep.
gonna go, and I don't want it.
Ramjan Temple Pyramid Plunder for woodcutting. I
I'm
love
happy with
this.
Sure.
I love this.
Great opportunity. For
I mean,
story,
I
cool
like
stuff.
it, but I don't know why they specifically picked woodcutting.
Because it's
Yeah, never gets
Karamja
involved.
and there's trees.
Well, I know, but the thing with Pyramid Plunder was like it was made back in the day when thieving XP sucked.
Yeah,
woodcutting
but woodcutting
XP does not
sucks.
Woodcutting XP does not suck in any means.
Actually, woodcutting for woodcutting XP sucks.
I disagree.
This is like a
Okay,
different
what's
way to
the
trade
best
them.
woodcutting method that you're actually
tree?
woodcutting?
Actually, no.
Crystal. There we go.
No. What's it called? Arctic Pines is the best
Golden
woodcutting
Blue.
XP in the game.
Oh yeah, that level like 54 thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Awful. It's terrible.
it is the best woodcutting XP in the game.
I
It's
know,
better than
that's
Crystal
the problem.
Trees.
Also, I believe the best woodcutting XP is actually light form super.
Okay,
healing.
all right. Or maybe when you
No,
add
light
in-
light form crystallighting Acadia.
All
But
right,
that's
maybe
my point here
maybe
is
we'll
that
start
most good woodcutting methods are like mid 50s because you can hit them that fast.
Doing
Doing an actual woodcutting method that uses the timed idea of Pyramid Plunder and setting it Karamja is brilliant.
I don't think.
I just think there are skills that could
woodcutting
use it
method is
better
needed.
than woodcutting.
I think that a different
I think
method
woodcutting
needed.
is in dire need of updates like this. It's a very boring skill, and I think something like this could breathe a lot of interesting life into it. Plus, it's Karamja lore. Like, yeah, I like this.
I
this
like
a
it as
lot.
diversity for the skill.
Yep. Player-owned town.
No. I'm getting so
No.
much player-owned shit.
No.
It feels like more ports.
If you're worried about doing a player-owned location, expand the kingdom, not a whole brand new town.
We have so much player-owned blank that
Yeah.
we don't need just more of it.
This
just
feels
it.
like a spiritual
player
successor
I'm doing all
to
this stuff.
Church of You, which I
Feels like
never
I didn't
liked.
like either.
So
It just looks like more ports to me. Why not just make ports 4?
Yep. Skill guide rework, offer more info on unlock.
Sure.
Just add a wiki link to everything.
That feels like just interface work.
I know that sounds dumb, but Guild Wars 2 literally has a built-in /wiki command that takes you to the wiki. And it's just a wiki that they're partnered with. It's not their wiki.
It's what all the players do anyway.
Yeah. So, like, just do it. Put a link in.
Last
and
one.
then finally, Virago Origin Quest.
I thought it was already half done.
Sure.
I thought this was in dev. I thought this was somebody's tap time.
It was last game jam.
Yeah, I would like this. I would like this.
I'm okay with it, yeah.
Yeah. I think we need to know what happened with him in the Third Age. So
I think the quests that got on this list are definitely not anywhere near the highest priority on my list.
no,
Four
not
that
at
we see
all.
here,
But I
I'd
still,
rather have
I'm
most
fine
anything
with
else.
them. Yeah.
But they're quests, and I'm okay with them.
Yeah, but I like a lot of the ideas on here. I have serious complaints about just as many, but whatever.
Okay. We have one last discussion to have before you're allowed to go to bed.
Oh God.
Did you forget about it already?
It's the player-owned farm discussion.
Indeed. I know. I was waiting. I
We
almost want to do a separate cast about this because I feel like there's a lot to talk about.
I don't know if there is a lot to talk about
No,
right
there
now.
is.
Is the
But for
problem?
right now, I think we can kind of blitz over the smaller ideas that they're considering based on the Discord.
I think maybe
So-
it would be worth having a longer cast for itself when it actually has solidified ideas.
When it has ideas in the design
So
section.
let's stop talking about how we're going to
Yes.
talk about it, and let's talk about it.
Let's go rejected first because they're hilarious.
Okay, so in the rejected ideas, they said we're not shaving bears. They're not doing 120 farming with this.
Fair.
They're not putting in new combat gear
They're
or
not
skilling
touching-
gear
They're not
sets.
touching combat at all.
Good.
They're not changing the environment of the entire farm, like volcanoes, underwater.
So no
You
satellite
get a
location.
farm and you build
Yeah.
off of it. New best in slot healing items. No
No.
consumables duplicating the Holy Wrench effect, and no invention.
I don't
plugins.
understand the Holy Wrench
Yeah.
effect, but clearly it was
Basically,
said
about
enough
20
times.
different people. Seriously, when I was reading this, people were like, "Can we get a thing that does the Holy Wrench, but I don't have to have it with me?"
Yeah.
So
but-
yeah, they were like, "No, stop, no."
Yeah, this is the please stop talking about it section.
Yeah.
It's worth knowing that invention plugins and the other locations are being talked about for future batches if this does well. Keep in mind they're thinking already in the future of future updates for this,
Which is
concept,
nice.
which means there's a lot going on.
It means we need
Yeah.
a scrying pool for the scrying pool.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
Ideas being
Anyway,
considered.
Now to being considered, not guaranteed, but being
Yeah.
considered.
So some of these are rewards, some of these are like
Mechanics.
creatures, mechanics. So improved fertilizers, golden fertilizers, which is a chance to get a golden seed when harvesting resources. The seed provides a bonus to animal happiness in the farm for X amount of time. And to go alongside this discussion, it sounds like they're pretty much doing exactly what we had concepted in a ranching document.
Oh, we're getting
Because
that.
we wanted to do a ranching elite skill pitch.
Right.
But basically, you have farms where you plant the crops, and those
Yeah.
crops will improve or decrease the mood of animals nearby and improve stuff there.
And that increases.
So it's kind of like-
stuff like
Yeah, it's kind of like with Jadinkos, except on a much
Right.
larger scale,
Which is a thing they're slowly getting to in this Discord.
Yeah.
I've noticed today.
which is great because Because Judinkos are currently build these things to lure these creatures. This sounds more like plant these things to make these creatures happy.
Not to mention, they're also considering the Judenko thing for getting the creatures. Like, you have this crop at this allotment, and it'll attract this creature. That's another thing being considered.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of mechanics going on here, which lends itself to maybe an elite skills. But getting through the considered ideas.
Okay. There's a thing here about seasonal effects. I don't really know what they mean by that beyond just like winter, spring, summer, fall.
That'll be part of that like requirement for like making things happy, sort of thing.
An additional use for arc berries. I like that.
Good. Mm-hmm. Please.
Seed and produce storage.
This one's very popular. I think it'll make it through.
Oh, of course, yeah. Items that extend your familiar's time.
Very aesthetic.
That doesn't seem very useful to me either.
We
already have spiritualized food, and doesn't that help their timer too?
No,
I've never used it.
I don't think it does. I think it just heals them.
Heals them from bosses that can damage them.
Yeah.
But,
but then there's a farming overload, as well as have your familiar use another familiar's ability.
Yeah. It's something, I guess. It's random.
So spiritualized food just straight up replenishes their timer.
Oh.
All the way to full. Treats it still as the same summon. That's right.
Interesting.
Yeah, we already have this item, so that's really pointless. So let's not do that one.
Mm-hmm.
But back to where we were. Give use to the trees from meeting history.
Of all the things to pull out their ass.
I mean,
from the past.
Why not?
Sure.
We're already doing arc berries, and now we can get plum, pear, mango, quince, lemon, and something else.
And the last one that he always forgets.
Heck, at this rate, why don't we use the stuff from around Ugalog as well?
Yeah, those are cool. I mean, just as many things as you can throw in here, and there's a lot of things that have been said.
Sure, go for it.
We're gonna get
and then we've got agriculture, more intensive methods of growing large numbers of a crop.
Mm-hmm.
And then planned farming, grow a crop to improve the yield of the next crop, but then improves the happiness of the animals. Create a farming cycle.
So those last two seem to have gotten a lot further away from just the animal husbandry topic, which is part of that like total ranching skill idea we had. Was it involves both growing crops and animals, not just the animals. And putting them all in a loop. But if you're looking for like animals that have been brought up to possibly be in this thing, I think I counted before it was 56 of them so far that people have come up with. And some of these are just like categories. Like one of them is just dragons, of which we can have many different types, or just like all exotic animals is one of them. So there's a stupid amount of animals that could possibly be here.
To additionally go along with this, Mod Meadows opened up a competition that's asking you to name an animal or creature that you would like to see in the player-owned farms, and give us an illustration, some details, and anything else. All entries are due by Sunday, April 8th. Mm-hmm. Do it.
Did you want to go through the preferred animals?
No.
Okay. No, we don't. There's a lot, and they have not been narrowed down at all.
That some genius was able to get on that list. Hint, hint, hint. Nudge, nudge. Was nail beasts, crablets, and turtles. I wonder who put those there.
Actually, he says tortoises.
There's both. There's tortoises and turtles.
You're right. You're right.
Also, Oomlies, because those.
I don't know how kangaroos and llamas got on the list, but okay.
I don't know.
Because kangaroos are now officially a thing thanks to Kingali.
They were refusing to put horses on the list.
Good. But yeah,
flying squids. I agree.
Fairy dragons also surprised me.
Yeah, I think as we learn more here, we will likely aim to do a cast on this.
Yes.
Yes. And
the problem right now is just there's nothing to talk about, really.
It's mostly suggestions and discussion at the moment, and we're tired.
You're tired. I am full.
I'm tired. But just basically, there's not a lot we can talk about this yet beyond just this is awesome. I can't wait to see more.
And I wish it was a skill.
Yep.
Do we want to have this argument?
I think it should be a ranching skill.
I do not.
It should be a ranching skill.
And I think you're wrong.
I think it could work as an elite skill. I'm just gonna say I don't believe it's needed.
I think there's so many mechanics and so much content here, and it's complex enough that it meets all the criteria for an elite skill. So, and I can't. There's not much that fits the criteria better. So why wouldn't it be a skill?
I absolutely.
Because it's mostly farming than anything.
Yeah, well, that's where the animal husbandry part comes in with additions to like hunter and construction for building your pen.
Well, hunter just seems like it's going to be getting the thing, and then everything else is farming.
Don't make it just getting the thing is my point. There's a lot of room for expansion and creation here, and I think that it could very easily move over to an elite skill with the right focus on mechanics.
Farming has never been about like dealing with animals. We don't have experience with animals from dealing with farming in RuneScape. Like, I get the general word means also animals, but in RuneScape we don't have any experience with animals. I mean, I get they're gonna probably put this like starting from like level 5 or whatever at the beginning, but I think putting it near the end and making the animal part more like the hunter component, and then like the large scale crops more the farming component, and put construction there because you're building all this shit and customizing your farm and stuff. I think it definitely works as an elite skill. I get that they only have a couple months to do this, and they're probably not going to expand the time to make it a skill length. So we're kind of.
But if it's popular,
I just don't want.
It's possible. Maybe we could like do what we did with the Ark and double the development time, and maybe it could be a thing. Just putting the idea out there.
Yeah. But overall, I think this is really exciting. I'm glad we're finally coming back around again to doing this.
And it's happening this time.
I just don't want Animal Crossing the skill, so.
No, it's Farmville.
And I wouldn't be against that.
Animal Crossing is totally different.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. But I don't know, I would like something cool with this. And I'm really excited to see this finally potentially being put in game.
Yeah. All right, I think.
Well, I think after 2 hours of going on,
I think we should have started earlier.
I think that's everything.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching this surprise podcast. Surprise. And yeah, we will see you guys next time on probably on the weekly. And thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.